be tell you twice. This life not fight, you got to be wise. Every day you arise, give praise with a dance. Yeah, yeah, keep on trying. Day we awake, na different story. Work night and day, na the same story. When me young go better, when I go left for it well. When me young break go butter, then go they call me master, then go they answer me yes sir. When me young two go turn to four,
this time I go get some, we'll come up and go.
So don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Yeah, keep on trying. If they say you not go make it,
got to keep on trying.
Life not they treat you well.
Keep on trying.
You married not they go well.
Keep on trying.
Opportunity not they come your way.
Keep on trying.
You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass. You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass. You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass. You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass. Some man you pass you, yeah.
Keep on trying.
As long as you dey try.
Keep on trying.
One day, one day, one day.
Keep on trying.
You must make up.
You got to keep on trying.
If you just keep on trying.
Keep on trying.
Anything you they do now for all and time. Believe on your dreams and walk to the future. Yeah, keep on trying. Therefore keep on trying. If you na painter, carpenter or farmer, so you the traders, me mama then na bacha. Keep on do you do, keep on they try, and then you go make 'em. You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass. You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass. You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass. You dey feel say na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass, na you suffer pass.
You don't tire with life. Keep on trying. Doctor say you could die. Keep on trying. Don't tire for cry. Keep on trying. What I done now you eyes. Keep on trying. Whatever you do now go move on. Keep on trying. Gonna make sure you move on. Keep on trying. You not lose hope and cry. Keep on trying. Wait for the day it go come. Keep on trying. 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 Keep on trying, 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 keep on trying. You're not tired, you're not tired, you're not tired. You hustle on it, you're not tired of it. Say you know they got money done, now you on. Keep on trying, keep on trying.
The Sierra Leone entertainment industry, UK and I, appeal in response to COVID-19. Coronavirus is here.
I just want to tell you this short story here, but coronavirus waiting, especially me, they miss na the entertainment industry.
COVID-19 don't put the world into a standstill. We know say no party need to go on, no shows.
And as a community, we don't come together anymore like we used to, especially during the weekends.
I know it's hard. Honestly, I know it is hard.
Stay home, stay safe, please.
We know exactly it is causing so much psychological problem and financial problem.
It is a harsh reality for all small business owners across the world.
The coronavirus that affects me big time in my community because I need to even get chance for come on and go for go do my business. Women are businessman.
I'm a hairdresser and I have a lot of clients, and also I work with a team of other hairdressers.
Actually, as pandemic affect my business greatly.
Well, I'm in a beauty business. Everybody just stays indoors and would not want to have on makeup, especially those who just do makeup when they want to go out.
Just do things that you've always wanted to do. Learn a new skill, read a new book, watch a series on Netflix.
Yo, my people, wherever you are, whatever you do, remember, Corona is real.
The last few weeks had been very anxious and stressful for everyone.
Like everyone, I felt the wide-ranging impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, challenging our extended family unit.
It has not been the same working from home.
You should only go outside if you need to get essential items or if you're a key worker, like my mum who works at the NHS.
Do ya, my people them, make we follow the rules them at this very time.
Coronavirus is real.
We not say it's not easy, it's difficult, especially when we get family for feed.
Because the longer this goes on, the longer we won't be able to return to our normal lives. And the only way we can is if we follow the guidelines.
Let's come together and save lives.
Just because being a musician, I tour and I perform and all my shows have been cancelled due to the situation. So
that said, everything about coronavirus has not been all negative. For example, staying at home has enabled me to spend more time with my children.
The positives are though, you can spend more time with your family members. You can appreciate the importance of humanity. You can see people being generous and kind and supportive.
We pray that these dark days will soon be over, and as a community we can bounce back stronger and better.
I mean, all the activities that we normally do on a daily basis, it's not happening at the moment.
We don't shake hands like we used to. We don't hug like we used to. And as a matter of fact, the outbreak of this pandemic has instituted the practice of physical distance.
By doing so, we are stopping this virus being spreading. Then we can get to our normal daily life.
One thing I believe for sure, we're going to come out of this very strong, you know.
Yeah, anybody who gets Mama, Naya, Auntie, whether old age, we get any underlying illness, please we always contact and check them.
But this don't left them very, very sad. This don't left them feel so isolated. This don't left them feel confused.
Coronavirus or COVID-19 has affected my community in so many ways that we have never seen before.
Due to this virus, we've suffered mentally, physically and emotionally.
Coronavirus is causing lots of mental health for people in my area.
My community, I don't even see my neighbors now. We're all indoors.
For all this time so far, the mood has been extremely somber, especially considering how unpredictable the whole situation is.
We are in the house and doing online studies, which is not easy, and it is sad.
My dad is a bus driver and he works because he's a key worker. People who are not key workers, please stay at home to prevent the spread of coronavirus.
At the moment, I'm now doing online studies because coronavirus has affected my studies at school.
I'm begging you as your sister and your daughter, please stay safe.
COVID-19 pandemic has affected us all, professionally, socially and personally, with some drastic changes made to our daily lives.
I would like you to follow the instruction government are saying to you.
Romans 13:1 and 2, it says every person must submit to and support the authorities over him.
May the Lord bless us and keep us. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon us and give us peace.
This is the time that we need to come back together.
This is the time we need to reconcile. This is the time we need to begin to love each other. This is the time we need to let go of those things.
And what we know is that at this time, we all need God's protection.
Remember, we are all in this together. Coronavirus is real.
So please, please, please stay at home.
Because we want you for day alive. We want you for day salon suite. We want you for enjoy salon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Come on. Freedom people, put your hands up. All the youths there. Put your hands up. To all the youths where they struggle these days, put your hands up so one day you go make them cheap. To all the youths where they struggle these days, put your hands up so one day you go make them. Come on. I got a little story for all the youths and nowadays. It really not be easy, but I got to let you know. I struggle so hard to be this way. My brother, keep the faith, no go take. Roots got first, so all you say he could be your helper and he could really carry you away. I got a lot to say, my brother, just hold on to what you do. Your life is in your hand, just try your chance and be focused. See one day you go rise up, just keep your head up higher. See one day you go rise up, just keep the fire burning. See one day you go rise up, just keep your head up higher. See one day you go rise up, just keep your fire burning. Start from behind, and now I dare first. I get my feet strong until I get on top. The enemy don't try, but the see for see I tough. Because I hold my contact to anything I do, yeah. Hey, yes, so you got to be strong, you got to be fit to run this race. Hey, yes, so you got to be ready, cause you know that your enemies are out there, yeah. You got to be conscious, my brother, these days, you know easy. You got to be ready, cause you know that your enemies are out there. It's not easy, yeah, yeah. It's not easy, yeah, yeah. Cause you know that your sweat will never run dry. See one day you go rise up, just keep your head up higher. See one day you go rise up, just keep the fire burning. See one day you go rise up, just keep your head up higher. See one day you go rise up, just keep the fire burning. I got my faith to be strong. I got my faith to be strong. I got my faith to be strong. Everybody come help me sing, say, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Hey, you got to be strong, you got to be free to run this race. You got to be ready, cause you know that your enemies are out there. Hey, you got to be strong, no, got to be strong, put your mind and fit to Almighty God. See one day you go rise up, just keep your head up higher. See one day you go rise up, just
Born, I've been missing, and now that I'm different, I learned the hard way to become something different. Me and you too, nobody no go destroy. We'll see, we don't build past that man, I boss. So think about it, girl, let's solve this equation. Me plus you equals 2, baby. Me minus you go make me the fool. So till death do us parts, I go there for you.
Nobody no did it for you, I go did it for you. And if nobody no care for you, I go care for you. If nobody no feel your pain, I go feel your pain, girl. And if you need someone, I say, I go did it for you. I be don't say this love too tight, I go did it for you. No matter what, I go stand on you, what I go did it for you. This love, you did it for you. Famous, You don't be a me where I know it. Day today, girl, you don't be a me cause I did work so hard for make this love flow. Now for be a me to be married. Yeah, you go be a me cause I want change your life. So you go be younger. I go meet you mama. Yeah, and I go meet you papa. Cause I ain't so hard for understand me. Girl, you were mine and I didn't nobody for make no mistake. It's me and me. If nobody no did it for you, I go did it for you. And if nobody no care for you, I go care for you. If nobody no feel your pain, I go feel your pain, girl. And if you need someone around like me, I say, I go did it for you. I be don't say this love too tight, I go did it for you. No matter what, I go stand by me, what I go did it for you. This love, you did it for you. Hey. Anytime we day, I go day. This love not for you. Anytime where you go, I go day. Think for you, I go cook for you. Close for you, I go buy them for you. Side for sleep, I go be love for you. You know me, girl, and I love you.
Beautiful face, big booty waist. I still keep reminiscing on the first date. The first impression, baby, was the right place. After all these years, you still appreciate. Though some they hate, but we still a go strong. All man they talk and young, but I never did wrong. Cause now you I admire, your body's still on fire. For this you love, baby, your body's not go tired. So let's fly around the globe, introduce you as me princess. Trips to London, Geneva with no problems. Put ring on your finger, I still not get out. Just pull yes, na street and all listen talk about. Cause this love too tight, so no forcing and fights. About to put you up and make everything right, baby. No more cries, no more goodbyes. I'm ready for love you till the day I die.
I be don't say this love too tight, I go did it for you. No matter what, I go stand by me, what I go did it for you. This love, you did it for you. Say you did it for you. Let nobody know can be to me and say this love, you did it for you. Girl, I love you. I go meet you mama. Yeah, and I go meet you papa. Cause I ain't so hard for understand me. Girl, you were mine and I didn't nobody for make no mistake. It's me and me. If nobody no did it for you, I go did it for you. I go did it for you, my girl. And if nobody no care for you, I go care for you. If nobody no feel your pain, I go feel your pain. And if you need someone around like me, I say, I go did it for you. I be don't say this love too tight, I go did it for you. This love so tight, no matter what, I go stand by you, what I go did it for you. No matter, this love, you did it for you. This love, we did. Listen, I go did it for you. I go did it for you. See, I go did it for you. So I go did it for you. I go did it for you. I be don't say this love too tight, I go did it for you. Lord of mercy. No matter what, I go stand up, what I go did it for you. This love, you did it for you. I go did it for you. Say I can feel it all on me right now. Hey. It's too much, girl. So I can't control it, so I can't deny it. You make me the feel, say, and I mean no more than love you. You make me the feel, say, love me not too much to watch you. Me now you African king, and you bound for me African queen. Girl, I don't make you me wish, and if I hurt and so girl, I'm supposed to be here. Girl, I'm your destiny, and I don't feel I'm rain on me so. My heart, you love them still. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My heart, you love them still. Baby, it's too much. And I love you, give it to me, it's too much. And I can feel it in my soul, it's too much. And I love you, give it to me, it's too much. And I can feel it all on me right now. Say I can feel it all on me right now. Hey. The way I'm lonely, you love me no more. It dey make her feel happy, I sit down dey think. You smiling no more, it dey make her recover here. Now this girl love way I'm where they want, I dey feel inside me. Now this girl love way I don't dey look for it, don't dey find me. If I want it, you go cook for me. If I want long, you go cook for me. If I want vex, you go. Why you dey love me so? Hey, I don't need to feel. Say I don't need to shit. It's an accident. And now I don't get but you loving. Oh, no, no, baby. You love it too much for me. Too much for me. For me. Too much. I don't live it. Don't live it. I say it's too much. And I love you. Give it to me. It's too much. And I can feel it in my soul, it's too much. And I love you, give it to me, it's too much. And I can feel it all on me right now. Say I can feel it all on me right now. Hey. You love me no more. It dey make her feel happy. I sit down dey think. You smiling no more. It dey make her recover here. Now this girl love way I'm where they want. I dey feel inside me. Now this girl love way I don't dey look for it, don't dey find me. Girl, I'm your destiny, and I dey feel I'm rain on me so. My heart, you love them still. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My heart, you love them say, baby. That's why I say it's too much.
Hello, Fambulem. Una good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and good night, depending on whose part na the world you find yourself. Welcome to CDHRI Media Production. We online platform today on zooming in live from we studios them all over the world. We want to say thank you so much to our viewers and for our support and continued following and suggestions and engagement. You know, we learn a lot from you guys and we appreciate you. Without you, now we not get program. And keep the conversation coming on. I continue for the same way. I inbox them messages and WhatsApp messages. We do take that seriously because the feedback helps shape our, the direction where we go, because we say this platform is the people's platform. We say African stories has to be told by Africans because una all get una own opinion and how una see the story. So that's why we are here, and we will continue for bringing them come to una every day. Me, una host, na Juma Ba, and today, na my own face mostly una go see. I'm not sure so una go see me co-moderator, except we can say keep take the endo, for Papa Man can't tell. So except if there's a technical glitch on my end, then he's on standby to step in. Like we advertise, we say we will continue the conversation on surrounding corruption, accountability, and employee protection. If you remember last week, we been get Gavin Cole when a young man, we they work for the Union Trust Bank, UTB, we then being get for sack because of opinion or interaction where it gets on social media surrounding issues of state funds and the First Lady of Sierra Leone. And because of that, an employer decides say for Saka. So we get a give your own version of event and all of those things. And we in CDHRI Media continue for appeal and believe it's our conviction and it's our opinion. It might not be right. Say in a country like Sierra Leone, we believe say the civil society gets a huge role for play. The reason why I make you say that, because there are other systems, other institutions that we would expect for step up in situation like this, but they're not a step up. So we believe, say, the civil society from during the time where we get war to when we don't get post-war situation, the reconstruction phase, and up till now, then still get a bigger role for play because they provide a shared platform for people way for share common interests and talk for push the country go before. Civil society gets role when it comes to human rights issues. It gets right when it comes to economic development issues. It gets right for advocate for the betterment and aspirations of all Sierra Leoneans. Civil society organizations for team up for the people. That is what we believe. But for the past years, we don't see the people of Sierra Leone, beaucoup, don't they raise concern, don't show, say, they not get some kind of trust or they're uncomfortable with how some civil society organizations then they behave. But, over the years, we get a particular person and a particular organization, we still, then they show them face, then they talk, and the person where we get today, not there for represent all civil society. He's not a spokesman for the civil society organizations, but we as CDHRI Media want for talk to him because now somebody who don't deal in engagement with for a long period of time. I believe the first time I hosted him on a program we get for do with national issue and issue around accountability and maybe to do with corruption. Now 6 years ago, that had to do with parliament and salaries, where monies them where they go to parliament, then get, the program was specifically about parliament salary. salary the way he find out, say, he ask questions about there are certain people or certain salary the way they go, they're not be able to account for. So then they become a big issue. We hosted him on our platform. We talked about that. And most recently, we talk about issues around the Beauty Money 3 and a lot of other issues. The reason why we call him today for this issue we get for do Gavin Cole, because last week when we host Gavin, he called, he showed interest, and we know say the statistics Sierra Leone people the way them been sacked and possibly other people them in our one policy we been go team up for them. So we want to talk to them today again on the employee protection issue generally, and Gavin possibly in situation, and the issues around corruption and accountability, because that is what stemmed this conversation with cause Gavin is sacking, because until now for being Gavin on the platform. So we have Mr. Abdul Fatoma with us. Mr. Fatoma, welcome, and thank you for coming on our platform again today. And say hello to Fambul then, please. You're muted right now, sir. When I hear you, Mr. Fatoma. All right, I'll ask you for unmute. Sorry.
Yeah, thank you very much. And you know, family, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Definitely, I know say some man they sleep. I mean, they fall in the good evening. And the one doing a Sunday now.
Yeah, the good evening and the good night as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fatoma. Welcome again. You know, to CDHRI Media. As I say, Mr. Abdul Fatoma is the Chief Executive for Campaign for Human Rights and Development International. Mr. Fatoma, let me start first with why, you know, the specific issue. Gavin, you watched the program last week, you listened to your own statement, then you've been, you know, call and, you know, show interest that you wanted to be part of that. I think what you challenge now a statement where we make, where we say the civil society, they're not a step up, they're not a team up for people their way, then they sack. And obviously you highlight, say, you know, your organization, now one organization we team up for the people in our statistics Sierra Leone. So tell me how far that they go for us, and then they will come to the Gavin specific.
What thing they go on first?
I mean, I know say your organization been take up or been show concern about then people let them in sack na statistics Sierra Leone, correct?
Yeah, I mean, them men they don't done them benefit in a long time.
Okay. So the public no know much. So now make us say tell me how.
I mean, the public no know, probably you don't know, but the people of this country know because it was all over newspaper and it was all over national televisions and national radio. And the people themselves return back on Facebook or meet wall and shower we organization with many, many thanks, you know, for granting them the opportunity for where government of Sierra Leone denying them, say they not go give them the benefit. After we they don't, they're not even terminate, not dismiss. This we are talking about 244 people. And you know, when we engage the government of Sierra Leone, then tell we say, you know, they're not going to pay them people then they because it costs to 1.6 billion yuan. That's a huge money. So they not get that kind of money. They was casting the blame on the previous government saying that INGRAP it hire so many people. But guess what? I mean, these people then be vexed even by them previous administration when at the All People's Congress, saying that they employ them people then they for come up with poor statistics. And we own challenge was this. If you they say these are poor statistics, now the statistics then take for demarcate for will get Karine Falaba. Now the statistics we take for elect with members of parliament for Kansai parliament. Now the statistics we take for get with members of council. Now the very statistics we take for get the president of Sierra Leone. So if you they say these statistics now in illegal, Does that mean the president illegal? Does that mean we members of parliament illegal? We councils them? And also the midterm development plan when I don't come with, when I don't showcase to development partners then. Does that mean say that misinformed, you know, a midterm development plan? And it become a controversial thing, and then one for personalizing and going after our organization. The financial secretary be even, you know, paid for go on 98.1, and also say there is one civil society where now don't turn to employment lawyer, you know, for people that at this country, you know, I mean like that. Then I come back on my Facebook page, since the media not agree for give me the opportunity and say, now we'll get a pathological liar now the Ministry of Finance. Now that not the reason why make we country finance saying this. Then we call up a press conference together with them, 200 and something people there. We give the government 21 days ultimatum. Within 7 days, they call the people them and tell them, say, then they put their money then at their account. And these are people them, among their number then we lost two, you know, 2 of their members then die. 3 of them picking and die because they not get money for pay for medical. Now that's the reason why they lost 5 of them people then. You get 7 where become homeless. You get 2 where they sleep in a garage. You get the other one that will relocate their families up country. So we then at the completion of that, then we get another case of 98, you know, members from the Sierra Leone Fire Force, where they also face similar, you know, thing. We engaged the previous Minister of Internal Affairs, when Suluku. Suluku then see reason. I mean, he don't see already the outcome of how we engage statistics really. And Suluku engage with we and ensure that say he resolve the matter. So then people then they then lay off that 98 people, then they get for return back to work to Fire Force. And guess what? We National Fire Force don't even get reach 350 staff. They automatically, they say because the previous administration don't recruit them 100 people, then they not be them 100, 2 die. Then 98 remain. Then that 98 now, they don't work over 8 good months. They don't get salary. And then they buy even diesel for put inside the engine, the Fire Force engine, for go fetch fire. Now time don't come for, you know, they don't send and say they go take PIN code. For let them regularize these people now, then they say money no day. So when they go in our office, they explain this thing them. We ask them for the employment letters. They show you the employment letters, the recruitment process. We see say everything genuine. So then we take them case. We able to forget that one day. Then we get another group of staff them from government, from Bank of Sierra Leone. You know, recently, one don't win in case against the bank. Then the other one, the bank not be appear. Instead of with the other one, and they were currently with the work on the case, you know, for ensure say for file back the case to come. In total, I mean, from the military, the police, in total, as of now, I talk to you this night, we don't currently handle 650 employment-related cases in this country, from commercial bank, and private institutions, from timber, logging, you know, and so on and so forth. Even like this afternoon, another, you know, pathetic story on employment-related issue as well. When a Sierra Leonean were doing masters at John Hopkins University, he returned at this country in 1992, 93, 94. He worked for the government of Sierra Leone. He left World Bank for can work for the government of Sierra Leone, the Ministry of Trade. For 18 million loan, he don't blind now. He been in a government quarter. You can't believe, say, they evict the blind man. Currently, the 2nd of this month, currently they na the veranda of the home where they evict her for 18 million euros. Then this very government of Sierra Leone, back in those days, they hired her as a consultant, an agreement of $10,000. You know, they not repay that man in $10,000. You know, in benefit where they pay away retire, again, nothing for rider home about. Not good at all. So today, this late afternoon, they go now we office after they don't exhaust all of the state institutions. And most of the cases that will they challenge authorities in this country. After when they don't exhaust most of the state institutions, like the legal aid board, the ombudsman, you know, sometimes they go to the ACC, you know, the Human Rights Commission. But when they come, you know, we definitely, because like, I mean, you know, public work in this country, like those who work for government, they are on appointment basis. Several of my colleagues and they, you know, we serve at the Human Rights Commission, because of their stand on human rights issue, they may sack them. So commissioners after commissioners, you see their utterances on human rights issues. They romance with it, but human rights issues, we not a babysit. You know, we say it as it is. When Galvin, for example, Galvin in case come, we come out straight the very day. We not wait for the other day. We come out straight and put out a statement saying we get concerned over the unfair and wrongful termination, you know, of Gavin. And we expect, say, business institution for respect the human rights of the staff, the customer, and anybody where they get access to them. So a business not for choose within, you know, a bad human rights practice, you know, and others. We will advise them to choose a good human rights practice.
Right.
And the next following day, we able to get Galvin number. We engage Cole. We promise, I mean, we talk to him for let a brinker and document them. A promise for brinker and document them where it get throughout the employment process with the bank. We go through them, document them. Today we be get another meeting with her after we don't study in document. And we will get a very fruitful conversation with her. You know, where as of now we go one for we from William part one for end the updates now from there that we get a very good conversation and we get a very good outcome about the about in case in progress.
Okay.
So, you know, that to Gavin. But then like we don't champion a lot of employment issues and a lot of human rights issues with the military and the Sierra Leone Produce Board, NATCOM, you know, maritime. So,
okay.
I mean, we are on track with those people.
Thank you so much, Mr. Fatoma, for the rundown where you give me the role in organization they play, and you know, and thank you for the updates on the Gavin issue. We're not going into details because, you know, since it's an ongoing stuff, we're not going for know the details. But I like the way you stated that it's a fruitful conversation. The engagement continues. You know, you don't highlight 650 plus and ongoing cases the owner don't handle. And you, in that presentation, you stated that these people now, after they don't exhaust all, you know, state institutions, you know, support or recourse for state institutions help, they know they succeed before they can now. And you not think, say, this is alarming, wherein it doesn't have to be the work of, you know, your organization alone, wherein una get for try for knack to mot them more side and possibly make more noise for the government able for listen, say, come on, you can't do this. Like when they talk, I just picture myself, now that gentleman, you know, in position. You've studied John Hopkins, right? You don't take, you fold your bag, you say you go back for go help you people, for go contribute. And now you end up blind, then they render you homeless for 18 million, for $1,800, then decide for kick you na door. They don't mind for let you sleep na the veranda, na government quarters. I just imagine me say, my heart sink inside, whatever the reason for us. When you look at somebody in physical status, go make you rethink certain position where you want for take. How would that build confidence for other people who want to call, say, oh, come home, come and help in national development? So Naimeka, they ask, do you think this should be the work of your organization alone, or you get for try for push your colleagues, them civil society organization and other interest non-state actor group them for do the right thing?
Okay, very brilliant question. Let me just tell you this. All of these cases will take up. The people then, maybe some then they listen me, or the family member then they listen me, or people free for comment. We not ask for a single cent to anybody. They no do not give you a single time. Say, we they give you money for love they, look after people the way they lost their job and pick their matter. I pick her up, as the head of the organization, employment law, and my first degree background that. And I work with trade union, London, Holborn. Then as well, looking at the way trade law in this country, labor law in this country, you see, say even the employer, their own federation, they set them up before the National Labor Congress. Let you just see, I want for just draw your attention how bad, we lost there against workers in this country. In 1966, they established the National Federation, of employers. That are the employers, the way they employ workers. And then first set the federation up. Then in 1974, then we get the Sierra Leone Labor Congress. You see the gap. Then in 1971, now we do a last labor and industrial relationship. Mm-hmm. That was how unions and for forming come together, and protect workers. And the laws and way, the provisions that we did inside that act, actually, when they talk about, the Sierra Leone Labor Congress came to be, just a correction, 1976, not 1974, 1976. With central labor laws, then they're outdated and then contain flaws on, for letting go meet international standards. So that's a very huge challenge. Like I said, that last time we really talk about labor law in this country in 1971. The most disgraceful part and shameful thing about this current administration, they don't appoint two lawyers, people with law degree, at the Ministry of Labor. That in 3 years, this in April, we're not able to get a draft bill. We're really showing a modernize. In the previous administration, 2010, Ernest Kroma, former President Ernest Kroma, launched the labor policy conversation for let we go get a review. So since the launch in 2010, it died. Hoping that we get lawyers, people with legal background, when they go come and go pick up that. The other thing is that a trade unionist will be no work na SLTU. And one of the large union organizations is serve as the Secretary General. You get me? When you talk about SLTU, they have over 36,000 membership in this country. And, when you talk about teachers, this is not to informal workers. These are former workers. Then former Secretary General, a day in another place. We are still talking. Labor-related issue is non-starter. The sad thing is this again. We don't ratify, recently, we don't able to ratify up to 5, international labor organizations and convention, treaties. How we go confirm ourselves to the international trend? Up to now, institutions of this country, the staff handbook, more advanced and powerful past, the statutory law where we get, the statutory provision where we get. When now from day, then staff handbook them for draw their strength, ECAS code in England for disciplinary and grievance. If you they make your code, your work in place for let somebody go through disciplinary, if your office not get that policy, you directly now subject to ECAS, their own code of conduct,
right,
as how then they conduct their own disciplinary and grievance procedures. But whereas we, as a nation, surely, how you develop your own staff handbook, as powerful as you want it to be against your staff,
right,
it's acceptable.
right.
I mean, that has been the norm. So how protect workers then they? So when they even come with the national insurance law recently, that, you know, employment practitioners and look at and say, it's another step towards protection. Because now you can protect the workers and where they work in the danger zone. You know, so in case of any accident, then who monitors this? Who really monitor and ensure say workers the way they work now, the mining, you know, that the hard rock places them, you know, in timber industry, we don't get people the way can we office them fingers and cut, the hand and cut. All waiting and can give them now 200,000, you know, some not 50,000. We get for take up them case that this is unacceptable, you know. And when they go labor, nothing absolutely not there for them. It takes them time, then they go and come promise labor get for bring the two parties them together in order to let them form something. You know, we get the labor commission. It's still there under the commissioner the work that labor, you know, Ministry of Labor. You've been talk about confidence.
Yeah.
You and I know that say with people in this country lack confidence, then confidence level is very low in state institutions. Because for far too long, and as recent as we are today, they find it difficult for draw a line within a public service organization and a political service organization. Because most of the government workers, they don't see themselves that they are serving the people. They are public servants. They see and pledge their loyalty in the political party and then godfathers. You know, they continue seeking glory to their godfathers. You know, blatant, you know, denial of public service to people just because they believe, say, the political ideology, the political views, their regional belongings, you know, is quite different than them within our office.
Right.
People that have suffered that, who have picked up cases on that. And as a country, they see luxury in that. Now this country, they see people enjoy fun in doing that. If you criticize that, they come after you. They say, oh, Skade, you not been there talk. Nana, you there talk. But God's so good for me, I've been there talk. The previous administration. And they were cheering me up. So the other things they say, I doubt you, Fatoma. So tell you, Fatoma, na Makeni people then come up. You know, some people even say, now where me not be there in this country, I not suffer, they suffer where they suffer. Now you make at the talk today.
Okay.
I mean,
all right.
When you look at those things, it's so pathetic for let you see. It's Sierra Leone they glorify. Encompass Sierra Leone for go out of job. Right. It's Sierra Leone they glorify for see say encompass Sierra Leone in Peking drop out of school. In the name of what? Politics.
Because that's my concern. You see, when you started, when I mentioned the statistics Sierra Leone issue, you say, sometimes them people and they don't eat that benefits they don't long term. So I just imagine how much was this benefit? We're not even able to last them 2 years. It's so sad because like what you mentioned, somebody go cut in finger, they can get 250,000 or 50,000 after you don't turn them. So then the transport self where it all lent for worker 10 months for the Canada office. It don't pass, you know, how much 100,000.
people then they will work in a bank for 6 years. Commercial bank then we pay them for 250,000, 1.5 million,
wow,
1,800,000. You know, unfortunately, because that's not fortunate. One of the member of parliament in West, it happened to be victim to that. You know, and like we not a pick and choose case. We fight all case.
Correct.
We don't care about the political belong. We don't care about even you not to Sierra Leone. As far as you are within the jurisdiction of Sierra Leone, then you case a human right related case. You know, these are cases that we organization. But like the thing is this, when organizations like we they get money from donor. Now, if you do not give you money, like say, when I digitize the historical record of the Sierra Leone Civil War, now then they then put money back. So if they say administrative cost, maybe the light bill they use, we will go use our pro bono now for engage, use that light. But when we they send we letters, we never ask anybody for pay for transport for letter or printing of letters. We do we letters, we send it out to the concerned parties. Like you said, we know they ask people for the car on and off. Constantly, we call them on we phone. And mind you, we not get funding.
No. I think you.
So we not get general Sierra Leoneans and we believe say, like when they fetch for people the way, then they lost their job there. Me, every month, I me on contribution this.
Right.
In England, you know, in America, in Germany, you get citizens that will say, they get love and passion for animal.
Right.
Let animal they not suffer.
Right.
Then they contribute towards that. You get people that will get passion for labor issues every month constantly. And by then, the accountability and the transparency canal to that civil society organization for tell and say, we want for know this money how they give every month, how now they judiciously they use that. We demand a financial report. You know, so but if it that not the donor, the UN or other donor go give that civil society money, say, go get town hall meeting on governance issue. Then go kick that man in working place. Then boss in head. They useless civil society there. Where they let them can't talk now. You don't give them money.
Right. So, but again, waiting. I understand what you say. The reference why they make not necessarily coming.
No, it's not about you. It's not about you.
Yeah,
I mean,
they make reference say the staff where they don't sack or where finger don't cut for engaged state institutions and even the company will be employed. That transport where they rent a loan for go. It don't pass the money where you compensate at 200,000 at the end of the day.
Oh my brother. I mean, it's sad. You know, some of these statistics workers, they may get loan at the bank then. One man in 11,000 entitled to. Just 11,000.
11,000.
All the other money the bank taker.
So wait, no, come back. 11,000 leons, that is equivalent to what in dollars?
I mean,
$1, 10 cents.
You know,
so at the end of the day, after all that pass now, 11,000 leons you take home.
The other one, it don't tell a woman say for the first time after 9 months, we them been in that struggle. Then go to after the day 8 months, no 7 months, some weeks. Because we take back and forth with government over a month a week. So finally, the government pay them. The other one take in web say, no can go na Tom, no go bye. They don't make the list. As a Kirishna bank, then say I want 5 million. And I say, no, sir, we're not going to give you 5 million. We're only able to give 2,500,000. They say, why? They say, well, the loan will been take. You know, all this why we know they pay. So now when the money don't can, the bank don't decide for take, you know, a money. And that man say, if one for buy 1 bag rice, because every month they buy 2 bag rice, 1 bag rice for your host, and 1 bag rice for your mama and papa. They say you get for buy half bag rice. All the other thing now where a promising picking for buy for school business and everything, that not the part the trust we be trust neighbor there, in party there. You know, I mean, people go now with office, then they cry. My big men and big women, then they cry because of how state institution they let them down. How state institution not they act towards them concern. And when we then are any democratic country, these are the things that when citizens start forget less interest in the government, in government institution, that clearly tell you say the government is not for the people. It's just for few selected greed individuals.
All right. Well, family where they listen with, that's Abdul Fatoma, the Chief Executive for the Campaign for Human Rights and Development International. We did talk about employee protection issues there, we surround how then they sack or dismiss people there, and the campaign that within the software enriching organization they do. Of course, you know, as we say, we'll talk about the corruption and accountability issue as we go on. But we go possibly open the phone line, let yourself get an opportunity for ask Mr. Fatoma some questions and contribute to the conversation, because not the only way that do the land for go before. Mr. Fatoma, on the Gavin specific issue, do you think, hand on heart, based on, you know, what you see initially, do you think that was an unfair dismissal? Or well, that sack, right?
Yeah. That was a termination. I mean, they say
termination of
but termination for be constructive.
Right.
And when we see the procedure was not constructive. So then when you read we press statement on that very fateful day, we say unfair and wrongful. We not mind with words, we not romance with the words. And we stand by that. You know, when we go through the handbook and when we look at how termination they take place. I mean, if somebody now enforced in this, forget a concern with her, and then that concern the way you get with her, not fall under gross misconduct. You get for force, you know, even if you know the one oral warning, now you're drawing attention to a written warning and caution and say, if this repeats himself, you they go under this disciplinary action or XYZ, or probably if your conduct continue for be so within the next 3 months, it will fall under gross misconduct or so on and so forth. And the other step is that in a grievance, when you query somebody, you know, they ask them instantly for respond to a query. I query you this morning on a serious and grave issue. And I ask you, say, before we off, I want to let you respond to me. Right? And you put that pressure on the individual. And I mean, if me not be me, as stubborn as I am always, I would definitely tell you, say, I'm going to do that today. Because I want for consult. You know, a lawyer or consult somebody else. You know, and but I can't force myself for respond. So all of them thing and they Nayanda will say the unfairness. Then you forget a hearing.
Right.
You know, in England, for example, you get 3 categories of people the way you they call for when hearing day. One, a companion, your colleague now work. And another, a certified union representative where they now in a working place. You know, or somebody where a trade unionist will qualify for sit on trade-related, industrial-related matters. But in Sierra Leone, I mean, that very, very difficult for, let you see, say, the court disciplinary hearing. Then too, in grievance, you get for investigate and make that investigation report be known to the employee where you get this concern with. So now we investigation findings, then this. So if you don't disclose all of those things and you just come from the blues and ask, say, I mean, you have been terminated with an undertone as alleged, may not be did, say because of me and you two not get the same political view, so I not think say me and you two go operate, quote and unquote. And then a letter be get for handover to this young man. So when you look at that trend of things, they see fairness in it. Then secondly, they see constructive. Nobody not say this company, not a private company, but private company subject under the laws of this land. Me say because a private company, you are exempted or your law different, than the statutory law will govern we all. Right. The Constitution, any other act of parliament, and any other statutory provisions. These are the laws of Sierra Leone, and all Sierra Leoneans are under those laws, including businesses. Yeah. I mean, there's supremacy in order because I open a private business, so me are bigger than the government. How government they run their own place? No, you working place policy and culture. It might be different from government, right. But how you terminate, how you dismiss, it has to be in confinement with the laws of the land. So in any country, absolutely, they see that. But Sierra Leone, they see, say, because people don't believe in them parties so much, the lazy excuse because they don't understand the situation. Oh, they want control the man, how they run in bank. Nobody not tell them how they run in bank. Nobody not tell them how they go take loan as a bank or how they control in capital any asset. But when it touch public interest, I mean, that comes off from in personal own and in share or a capital where it get, not the bank.
Right. So you talk about the key thing where now that the common interest here, so the public interest. I can choose to say, well, I don't want to talk about Gavin's issue, now your own business, not to me being Senna for go right now Facebook or go challenge and see get more if you say 91 grain, sabi right and type. People can say those flimsy things. But like you say, imagine a member of parliament, EOF gets caught up in a situation wherein, you understand? So this is why things of public and national interest involve we all. It should not be you or that person, because it could be you tomorrow. It could be your family member. The guys in our statistics Sierra Leone never woke up one morning thinking, say, then go just dismiss them like that. The guys now, how you call the fire force, even though they not pay them, but just the hope.
National registration, I'm a civil registration, like all of those people. And let me tell you the way they sack some people, like statistics. Mm-hmm. They call them for a meeting. Then go work that morning, well dressed. Yeah. They have no clue about their termination. They call them in a room, in the conference room. They call, for example, Jumaba. Yeah. They hand you letter, go. Don't come here anymore. Abdul Fatoma, go. When you go, don't come here anymore. Sylvester Duba, go. When you go, don't come anymore. Femi Pama, go. When you go, don't come here anymore. One by one. 240.
Comfortably.
Because the 4 other people, they may not have them before. So the other 240, that is how they humiliate them in their own country. And
The guys from Fire Force, the 98 way survive. Imagine 2 of them colleagues then die. So because we are quick to the fire people, they're not they go do their job. So imagine first don't pay the man 8 months or 10 months. Now you get for buy diesel for putting out the engine, for run that thing they just for go save lives. But we are quick to tell them, say, they're late for go, they're inefficient, they are not, they're not sabi do their work. They're not even train the people there. But the person still, and you say the Salomon lazy, but this person make effort and go do the job where nobody no want, not gets paid, not gets compensated, not gets looked after in welfare and livelihood, but it still hope, say it go serve. But then we treat them that way. As an organization, you highlighted that the labor laws, they're not fit for purpose right now. Are you planning to mobilize public interest for sponsor a new labor bill where go fit for purpose? Because it's a shame that my own brother, where I've been Secretary General for the biggest labor union in Sierra Leone, and through that he make a name for even shine na politics, because everybody be afraid the teachers union. He was their Secretary General. You don't serve na that ministry there twice. Let's say the first term, you not be no better, okay, but you learned things along the way. Then you go rest for almost 10 years. There are other people, you don't see the mistakes. Now you're there. What are you doing? Is this not the first things you should be prioritizing? Because that's you're not going for pay for them, for bring a lawyer first, you get a group of other people where you go bring together, you look at what in the and what you need for do for be. Because if they go and sign all the international treaty, but when they domesticate them, then what's the point? So are you guys planning to sponsor and push for a new labor an employment law with fit for purpose?
Wasn't that the word we use, sponsor?
Yeah, sponsor. Not necessarily pull on your money, but possibly on your small paper on they put here, on a print, then call other lawyers them.
You just need for say if we can give with technical support, because
that's why I'm
so when you talk about sponsorship, you're talking about financial now. The capital. I've been
go ahead. Well, technical support for push for a new labor law.
Even within we and government, the donors then. The donors are very hypocritical they don't love the people. I can tell you that. EU go cry say government of Sierra Leone don't embezzle so project money, so EU money. The same EU will come and give millions to the same government of Sierra Leone. UNDP go can say this government agency don't misappropriate this fund, that fund, this fund, and go back and give government. Now when they clash with government, they say now we want civil society for let them come monitor. Do you know the reason why? Because then diplomacy and sovereignty, they give them the hard way for talk. But the civil society now, as a citizen, they get a constitutional right for express their hard concern. And they go come with barely 50,000, 100,000. Waiting they want, they spend more money on their town hall. But this civil society, I guess staff them, they know they look to the workers and how they for pay them workers. And some donors and then they split the rent. You the civil society, you go pay half. Then the very donor back pay half by percentage. So, I mean, this is the whole thing. But many people out there get this clear thing that say, oh, civil society. And the thing about, we got two sectors in the civil society. When at the NGO is the civil society. But we get the development civil society. Then we get the advocacy civil society. The development, then they get more money past the advocacy. The development one then, and then they help government for build bridge, for build school, for bring decks in a classroom. Then the Plan International, the Save the Children, the World Vision, and then we other local NGOs when a civil society way then choose for their development, either in agriculture, or in other school programs. Then the advocacy like the Human Rights Watch, the Amnesty International, the CHRI, these are the advocacy organizations. We in our noise we sabi make through we press release them, or we policy brief, with observation about governance policy, how it bad, the gap there we highlight and tell government how if or do these things. We not ever they get credit for that we work then they what they do. Government and they do and quietly implement and globally now so then they with civil society, politician. Then go implement them project and they quietly, they're not they even invite civil society them for the part of the process, even to the completion. I mean, globally we they suffer that. So it's not only in Sierra Leone. So like some of we don't work outside of this country, we know much about that. You don't get worried. Some people say, oh, no, your idea. So I say, well, I mean, that's it. If you read about that, I mean, that's just how they behave. It's a global phenomenon. But the fact of the matter is that we mission for provoke change.
Right.
So the fact that say we're able for provoke debate, for let change take place, I mean, that's a whole huge progress in the work. There's no need for encrypt we name, na every street, every corner where we go. Like for example, me, I turned down a lot of awards in this country. Some then they are saying as an unnecessary award. So I mean, these are just some of the things that we go do. Right. But like talking about giving a technical support to the government, we try for. I mean, do the...
But, sorry, Mr. Fatoma, the reason we make an unlimited to technical support, because technical support, when I go see them, not so like I say, these people don't have the technical know-how. They don't have the political will and the interest of doing this. So if, what make us a sponsor, not necessarily say when I pull money, when I go give government, but CHRI as an institution, go provide the base, when I get small office, possibly other lawyer will get interest, not get office, but you can kind of on an office, when I get them a small desk, 1 day a week, you can sit down, help una together on a sit up, on a draft, waiting on a thing, say, this can be a better one, and push for them, take them, public, una look na this thing, now we don't see, we want una input. Then let us take them to parliament, enforce government, for see if they go use this one, or, whether they not use all, but then go say, okay, this is very important, let's go fine-tune here and there, so at least we will get something we fit for purpose. Because not just one limit them to the technical part, because like you say, you have a lawyer, you have someone who had served as a, for the biggest trade union, you understand? He understand about labor laws, way for no even better. So how much technical support that person need? It's the political will and the interest of the people of Sierra Leone. Now make us say, una for push and sponsor one where everybody, una rally people and come together. Let we do this one.
I mean, and a smile because...
Yeah, I can let me smile first.
We only get two support. Either you give financial support or you give technical support.
Okay.
Technical support no means say, I can't help you for right. Maybe technical support with expertise. I exposed to international labor law. Are they part of the Africa Labor Law Society? We're based in South Africa. When I return back Africa, I try for equip myself with the Africa body. So I know what's in the happen South Africa. I know what's in the happen Ghana. I know what's in the happen Kenya. About labor laws. Like the UK one, I very much know. I'm very much knowledgeable about that. Then, we can exchange ideas. That's the technical support.
Right.
And then, like, we can say, let we develop or that we do a policy review even, so that we go able to know which framework we will go work with for develop a new labor law. And that framework, we put consultation aside of it, getting the people involved into it. So if then the government not get, government not get the answer to all, right. They outsource. I mean, you will even be you're not gonna be surprised. I was part of the negotiation deal for the lecturers that will strike, for ensure say the strike end. This was industrial related issue too, So I helped the pathway, for ensure say we get a negotiation, we get a good deal for we lecturers them, and we're able to get with students and back in this country to the classroom and get the politicians for honor and respect the service of the lecturers. So I mean, these are all technical support. It was a non-pay, job, absolutely, But then the other support when a financial, when come with financial support, money you get for give. Then you can say either in monetary or in kind. Right. The in kind, they come in technical way. That's the terminology. So sponsorship is purely monetary thing. Technically, I can give you, my advice. I can share my opinion with you, or I can help you draft, the framework, or give a roadmap. Those are all technical support. You might know, but you don't know everything. Nobody know the way know everything. Life teaches you for learn every day.
Right.
So even you go Harvard, you can. You see need for learn from somebody will go from a college.
Right. So are you guys gonna push for let the government consider for review the labor laws where we get at the country and at least advocate for that as much as possible until they're ready?
Yeah,
and in participation in that as well.
We've been on starting a lot of things on that, and most of with press statement or with public engagement. But mind you, we also don't engage human rights violations and also financial fraud in the commercial bank, in the financial industry. Many television, the 3 television or 4 television interview me appear in all Australia, and the radio stations. I challenge the labor, Ministry of Labor, and draw their attention to the 1971 labor law. We're not good for purpose. Meet international standards. Even the International Labor Law Organization treated it. We don't ratify as a country. With current labor law, not able for match for purpose. And again, a huge economic loss to we. Because if any institution or company, then at the London, stock exchange, the Berlin Stock Exchange, the New York Stock Exchange, one for Canas Leone. The first thing they look at, what is their labor law?
Right.
So the governance code of conduct, now then different countries and they where companies and they comply by and get for reports every year for sure waiting at the integrity compliance level on finance, financial disclosure, employee-employer relationship, standards. So then go through by that and then get a ranking. Then they drop you, for being part of the stock exchange because you are not in compliance with the governance code of conduct of those countries.
Right.
So the moment they see a bad labor law, that the impediment for them for letting invest in that, they're going to withdraw. And when they withdraw, you know what they do? Then they find a subsidiary institution where they go pass little amount through for letting them do the business for them.
Right.
Bypassing even their own system.
Right.
So you even see UK very smart. They continue updating the law. Even now, a subsidiary organization of UK, if they violate employment law in this country, they take them to the UK, employment tribunal.
Right.
And you recover whatever, punishment where the UK law say, not to the salon law anymore.
Right.
So you see that say the British organizations they stop now for the support. Then small organizations wait for cancer law.
Right.
And these are the economic loss way it cost we as a nation because we're not up to date. When you see say Ghana employment law advance, you see say a lot of investment. If you don't go South Africa, you don't go Kenya, the next other point of call within Africa is Ghana. It's not Ghana, it's Senegal. So you see, say, the economy of the country, then GDP is in a boom. I mean, we know every day into 1 billion, GDP. And you talk about Ghana, they are up more than 6 billion.
Right.
And when things happen, well, Ghana, small Ghana. It's not small Ghana. You're in the 600 and 30 something million dollars GDP. And this country then over $6 billion GDP. They call us small. No, you small.
Right. So that just brings me to the other part of the conversation where you highlight, because it's very important, integrity and all the other things, then I go attract people for come. And so we don't see for the past year, but most recently, the past 2 months, it's been barrage of publications against government from the Africanist press on issues we get for do with either violating procurement procedures or, actually, stating that government is being corrupt or government, they do illegal spending or misappropriations of, the country money in billions of leons. That's one. We see the audit reports. We see the fet we still they go there. From where the reports come out, a delay for come out, we don't see the fet where they. We see the issue of the real-time audit of the what you call them, the NACOVAC operations and all that. As a civil society institution, we're very concerned about that, because that they still get to do with human rights and development of the people of Sierra Leone. What's your general take on them publications here, and the issue around that? Around corruption and accountability. Yeah.
My general stand on corruption in our country, the same yesterday, the same today. You not get any shift. And me now one person, early as 2018 and 2019, 2020, the one that will follow me, even when they call the Commission of Inquiry, when they hand the white paper, they invite civil society leaders and some medias. I'm fortunate to be among the invitees. And immediately when the team done, media, journalists then come, a particular broadcasting house, they cut me off from one of my statements in the street.
Why?
When the statement say, President Bio say this will be the last commission of inquiry, I said that now in your opinion that. I mean the president that in your opinion that. But it get no right to get any control over who that is succeeder, whether if a set up commission of inquiry or not. And my continued stand was that if then say then therefore implement the white paper, it will be fair. And when I say fair, the journalists asked me why. I said because the same corruption way then they investigate so. They are on the same corruption. In 2018, I said that. And people chased me that, oh, it's too early. That way they not give appointment. Now frustration. In 2019, based on the rumor na Salona is a small country. I say, this administration is corrupt. I mean, the corruption is visible. In 2020, I raised the same thing. And now we're in 2021, the nation can't get involved. Like 2016, when we be engaged parliament. In 2017, when I come at this country, they tell me, say, oh, if you can't salon, then go arrest you, then go this. I say, well, they go there now because na salon are born. So I go happy for dying at salon than I die in England. I come. And then a radio station, they talk. And then say, oh, parliament, they don't come for you. Where I done, I say, would that come for me? Where me invitation letter? They say, not the. I say, since that not the, where do you have the big, peaceful citizen and good citizen? I want to drive myself go parliament. I drive myself go parliament and go hand myself over. I said, oh, there's one that they look for me, look me. Yeah. That day, then detain me. They seize me passport. For 45 good days, I'm able to travel out of this country. and face a lot of costs. The members of parliament and Sesena then begin to cost me mama inside parliament. From the well of parliament, they move with me in a committee room one. Then they sing, then they cost me mama, then they sing at this country. Yeah. I mean, I go through all the things, and then I continue remain being stubborn for talk about issues relating to corruption and issues relating to human rights abuse. So me stand on corruption yesterday, it stand today. That we public officials, the one that we say we politicians, when we vote for them for take up mantle, for run the state affairs of the state, I mean the country, they end up turn against the people. You know, now you inside Freetown, yeah, people they still get Watana Gota, that the Spur Road, that the Babadori, you know, the Wilkins Road, the Congo Cross. I mean, you will know Freetown, you will come salon. You expect that this are the posh area than this. People still then at this city, now the west, dead west. Now na generator at the talk so far. Eh? We get timetable, if you light go 8 o'clock, sometimes I tell 12 or 1 o'clock. We're not able to enjoy clean, stable electricity at this country. I've been there, Kailan, you know, and Kenema, and Bo, few days ago this weekend. The same trend. You see people in Kenema, they get water from gutter, the pipe, then they go gutter. Inside the gutter, and then they get water. You go Makeni, it's the same thing. You go Cambia. So we problem is so much, but we people them in this country, them believe in the political party than themselves, even the suffer way than they suffer. We people, often a time, they dance for change. The same corrupt politician, they go tell and say, they one they are then corrupt, now we pull them. If we not pull them, then they don't with money. We then come, then say corrupt. And you know what I remember then they say, but we not corrupt reach the other one day.
So they compare corruption.
Yeah,
corruption by size.
You know, so they talked about this thing. But then we still get picking away they die in our hospitals without oxygen. We still get picking away they die in our hospital without power supply in other hospital. We still get water shortage. Now we big hospitals like Guys and St. Thomas's, you know, Florence Nightingale, your King's College. You go to them places and I mean, you are okay. But when you can Connaught, when you can Cottage, you are in disaster. Look you grave, look you. Not to look your hospital bed, though, look you. Look you grave, look you. The moment them paint, just paint, for do a facelift now, one small corner. It don't go social media, this now development. Now the development is, I mean, you start wondering, what's wrong with these people? What's wrong with Sierra Leoneans? We are now 60 years, April. 60 good years. Our counterpart, they have, I mean, speed train. You go Senegal, then get speed train. You go now Ghana. Most cases we not able to handle here. Small, minor, specialist cases, we run to Ghana. For do MRI scan. Now Guinea then go pay money for we players. We on the age no wait is Guinea. You go the same money where then give EU give you for flyover street there. Look at how Guinea implement the when you can't Sierra Leone. What do they see? You see them cover one culvert. You say we don't build one bridge.
Yeah, because we just see that they do big opening for the bridgeway for them Savage Street.
I mean, that's one of the most disgraceful things in this country.
So,
Mr. The workers and finish that thing. I mean, people begin use it. We're not gonna notice that they don't make up. We no say book.
Right.
Pass it, you get for pay for them chairs. Then when audit reports come out say, you know, they misuse money. Then they say, oh, forget that people they get. What a waste of money.
You know,
you two know in London, then they developed the railroad, where then they repair a road. So they will they sleep on net.
Yeah.
One day, they work on net. When we they work on net? By the time they come money, they drive to the places, they say, hey, when enter this place?
Yep.
Huh? When you see Prime Minister, they go to nap, open food, they call, whoa. Huh? A small thing. Huh?
You see, a very important, Mr. Fatoma, people know they consider the impact of corruption. Because, like we talk, look at PCMH, how a whole hospital go day, Watano day. Now, pass you see citizens, now then they go buy tanker them. Kudos to them people, then they will get their money, go buy the tanker them for put day for let the place get water. Mr. Fatoma, for me, the thing where I know the way they make an able sleep in a net. From the day where I read the news of that medical doctor lady, you understand? We needed $45,000 for go for specialist treatments in India. Somebody when a medical doctor where they serve people and something able. Because I just equate them to the gentleman where you say Commodore John Hopkins go, now he's been evicted, rendered homeless for 18 million leos.
And government for $10,000.
Yeah, and they get for paying $10,000. So you owe the man
from 1997, they cry for that money.
Whether they don't accumulate interest so much, if you calculate and sometimes it don't reach $30,000, $40,000, $50,000, right? From that time day to date.
1997, that time if you get $10,000, I mean, I like having a billions now.
Exactly. So all of that money there, you owe this person, but you render homeless for 18 million leos for $1,800 today. Then you have a lady almost dying, a young lady, promising person, we go down save so many lives, but unable for saving lives for $45,000 because I don't know why. Anyway, we will open the line. Whilst we open the line, I want to ask you, what do you think anti-corruption, how you think say the response, because people are concerned. And the reason I ask you about that, because I know as an civil society organization, you demonstrated goodwill for sure say on how to help anti-corruption in either preventing corruption, talking about corruption, educating people about corruption, and sign a memorandum of understanding with them. Yep. Do you think, because public confidence, you mentioned it earlier, I mentioned it, public confidence in our state institution, and if the watchdog, the gatekeeper, people and don't begin the question, it's concerning. What's your take?
Let me tell you, like I tell you, corruption stand from yesterday and today. We organization also be challenged the Anti-Corruption Commission. Mm-hmm. That the Anti-Corruption Commission is self-corrupt, so they cannot fight corruption. We be challenged the Anti-Corruption Commission in 2016, 2017. Mm-hmm. And like I tell you, we stand on the fight against corruption. Bend down. Change anything. We argument has been this. It's so sad that with Constitution give one great manpower when at the president of this country. When somebody becomes president of this country, even powerful past Queen Elizabeth, the only thing no more away in your name not the royal chroma or the royal bio, the royal kaba court or this that are. Not only that no more, but everything. But they appoint these people. And when they appoint these political, appointees, even them be technocrats when they come into that. You see, say their attitude, their style towards the public, it's become more political. Their words, their actions are political than being that professional or technocrat. If you are a technocrat, either you resign or they chase you out. Mm-hmm. If you're really stubborn for remain. But when you're not stubborn, you dance to them. Yeah, they are good friends. So you start acting like them. And people get surprised. I don't surprise. Because, at the end of the day, you see people, they talk careless talk, say, they serve the government of the day. If this government come on power and they lost this job. That's a complete nonsense. If you are a professional, and then your next government can root you commodity, the public know that that government or that political party, they don't believe in professionalism. Mm-hmm. They only believe in, whatever. Like, look, for example, Madam Taylor Pierce. Anytime we rumor come, government want for torture. Who do you see they jump at the street or
Not
on the
the
social
people.
media?
The people. Yeah.
The citizens.
Yeah.
So they do the citizens then work.
Right.
Now that the citizens they expect from.
Right.
You know, ever compromising stand with any political party for these two, these two main political parties we don't take governance,
Right.
For the short time. So when you come to the anti-corruption, when the issue raised say, oh, well, we got to look into a previous, first lady and this, that, and we go start back for 14 years, blah. I mean, it's welcome if that's the policy. But then in other investigations, you show timeline, you show this when you don't start the thing. So the public has not yet been abreast with this current overwhelming corruption allegation. We don't gain global attention, only national attention. The BBC, other media within the Europe, the Dutch, their own national broadcasting, corporation house, the US, Reunions, that the diaspora and a different place, they raise concern over this. Mind you, the Anti-Corruption Commission, when this government came to power, they launched their Scorpion Squad.
Yeah.
Because they were popular and they were fearful. They go Mamioko say we don't hold people the way they thief ETSA. They go cement factory, they say we don't catch people the way they thief. They go to the schools, they say we don't catch people the way they do malpractice. Stay to the last time now, they corner people there, one beats them. I mean, I condemn that. Yeah. But when you see people act, meaning, why when they left the big one there, where they thief billions of leons, where for them make a better school than at this community. But because of their selfishness and greed, they want gain, they thief billions of leons to themselves. So we begin and deprive good health center, good educational facility. Mind you, even the 50 bus where they're at this country for the free healthcare, for the free education, and free and quality education. I can tell you, say, authoritatively, make consistent traveling at the provinces this month. I come across school picking them where the side where we drive go, that bus in picture, no, the picking them don't know whether the color of that bus. Then they walk at 5, 6, 7 miles. 2 chiefdom, now one grade junior secondary school, they not even senior secondary school. So imagine the picking them were promising, but because they're not getting relatives and at the big towns from them district, where they're at the interior chiefdoms. If they're not getting relatives where they're at the Kenema or the Kailan for can do senior secondary school, they drop out of school, they become compulsory by force. Force the system that enforce them picking any for drop out of school and go be farmer and go be any other thing. Then we lost an opportunity for get a very good medical doctor, for get a very good engineer, for get a very good innovator, we go create an app and create anything. The system failed because those who run the system, who are the four, who promise them of change, they only change them. They say, we change, say, we will be corrupt more. But we not change, say, we will make your livelihood become more better. Now the country is, the population of young people higher than any other age group. The best we can design program for them, either we give a drainage cleaning project for them, a car wash project for them, or we train them to become tractor, drivers, or we train them for become fishermen by force, just because the system continue letting them down. It's not because of anything, it's because of the corruption.
Right.
The greed and the corruption. Wow. Somebody go violate procurement process, the previous administration, where this administration now violate the same procurement rules. No, this one is different. No, this one, we support that easily because we and them talk the same language. because we ain't go the same school, because we ain't come out the same region. They are our brothers, they are our sisters. And we bury the country in integrity, in image, and the livelihood of we citizens.
Right.
That's not the sorriest thing I see in this country. People believe say if they're not battle politicians, they don't support politicians. I mean, I fall out with my friends who are in politics because of my stand.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. They open the phone line quickly. Unayeri, Mr. Fatoma, na generator they operate under so, and una know say petrol self not cheap na salon, and the internet self, something they so therefore make sure so not keep pass mark. So if you want for call and ask questions or give your opinion, call a WhatsApp number +1 614 551 8694. The number we for call now +1 614 551 8694. We don't open the phone line. You're welcome to call, ask your questions, and make your opinion. But please, we did tell you when you call, be respectful, be mindful of your words, share your opinion and ask your question. If you try for deviate from that, we will cut you off and give another person an opportunity. Mr. Fatoma, while we wait for that question, do you still, as a partner, have faith in the Anti-Corruption Commission for, do their work independently in the interest of the people of Sierra Leone? You're muted, sir. Sorry, now I'll unmute you. Sorry about that. Yeah, go ahead.
Like I say, me stand on the fight against corruption in this country. Anything where they compromise the integrity of the organization in principle, in mandate, we're ready for take with gloves off for that relationship.
Right.
Mind you, we signed an MOU with the Anti-Corruption Commission for let we fight corruption and do public education on corruption. We already been to do that.
Right.
We'll try to formalize that. We also try for help them for develop a private sector law on corruption. That we be doing jointly. Okay, we developed the synopsis we share with the Anti-Corruption Commission, waiting for feedback. We're going to a year with no feedback as of now.
All right, hold on 1 second. I think we don't get one first caller, please. Hello, caller. Very well, thank you. All right, what's your name and who's the call from? I can connect you. Okay, all right. All right, hold on, Tamba, sorry, okay? Let's see here. All right, Mr. Soy.
Yes.
Yeah, you there, Iwi?
Yes, I get you.
All right, go ahead. Ask your question or make your comment, please.
Yeah, I just want to give my own little input towards this discussion. I feel say Mr. Fatoma don't lay out. He don't lay out very well the underlying factors they really affect we in that country. He touched on the cream, the meat of the problems. And one major thing, in my opinion, and where I feel say yes, now we greatest problems in that country is with constitution. We get acts that way outdated. They don't do for so long, and we don't contribute for ratify the acts in there, and we don't keep up to their standards in there, both nationally and internationally. And that's they really affect we.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that, we get a society where the majority is so gullible to the fact that laws in there, even though acts in there of individuals and politicians as well as public servants there, will be detrimental to the system. But if even at the court of law, those laws in favor them, or they're not able to convict them because they're able, ribe around then kind, acts and they, or then clauses and then within the legislations and they, So I feel say Parliament gets a great opportunity and then get a task at hand where, to me, they negate the responsibilities by not visiting those things. Not only the labor laws. If you look at so many other things, you look at the Policing Act, I am talking here in the capacity as a criminal justice scholar.
Right.
So I know, and when you look at the policing laws, you look at all the, and you try for parallel to other neighboring countries. Like what Mr. Fatoma said, you go to Senegal,
right.
You go to these nearby places. It's sad.
All right.
And I was a student of mass communication, we are the first product in the day, the FBC. And when you look, the first newspaper was produced at the entire sub-region in Sierra Leone since 1906.
Correct.
But, it took time for make they even initiate, the module of mass communication at Fabric College.
Okay.
Thanks to Mrs. Bernadette Cole, we initiated that program there. I was there for the certificate and diploma program. I run away power, go back and, join the degree program. I mean, then we final year we are kind of America.
Right.
So those guys graduate today with doctorates there, the Dr. Musas, Dr. Williams there, Abdul Soiree and others, those are my classmates.
Right. So you did say we laws them need for be refined from the constitution, calm down for let them be fit for purpose.
Most of these laws need to be repealed and replaced.
Right. Okay. All right.
Meet international standards.
Okay. Thank you
most
so much.
Most of these laws need to be repealed and replaced because we need reforms.
Right.
We need a revolution in reform activities of that country.
Right.
We need so much reforms for aligned to international standards of that country.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Those are the things we need.
Thank you, Mr. Tambasori. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Let's get another caller chance. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate your call. All right. Bye. Yeah. Hello, caller. Oops, we don't miss Dandy. Let's take the other one. Hello, caller. Hello.
Yes. How you doing, sir?
Very well, thank you. Tell me your name and who you they call from, and make your point brief so we'll give other people opportunity, okay?
No doubt. So, my name is Junior Vandy, and I call from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. So, my question to Mr. Fatoma is that, first of all, I'll just say thank you to Fatoma. I one of the people who sometimes when you talk, and the first they talk against me, or sometimes we talk and the people they talk for me. So yes,
so you see yourself now the picture where they talk.
Most times I see yourself.
Right.
And sometimes we get some things that they say, hey, but this is why they talk for me. They say I say no, they talk against me. But that said, I get forgive this man in kudos, a very consistent. A very vocal, though I want to make it be more louder. That's what I asked for Fatoma.
Right.
Fatoma is very, very, very consistent. It's just that I don't know, maybe the censor around the media, like they didn't get much opportunity for me to come out. But I want to encourage Ali continue for the do what they do. If you get for kind to people like Una for can pass the message, for can voice out with him, he see the wrongs when they go on. Let it do him. I guess maybe again, this is just been observation. I noticed say the guy lately, like the AYVs, the radio Ds, they call them again like that. And it's just unfortunate, man. It's just unfortunate, bro. Fatoma, I'm like a big fan. Keep doing what you do, bro. And would it be you, man? And don't forget.
Thank you so much, Junior.
One of the people right now who have a part of that country today.
All right. Thank you so much, Junior, from Philadelphia. Mr. Fatoma is always welcome here.
Thanks.
You know that this night platform, when he call, we will definitely answer and give him an opportunity. Thank you, Junior. Okay, we'll take another caller. We just lost that caller there. We'll go back to him and let's see here. Let's go to free tone. Let's call this free tone caller and see if he go answer.
Hello. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, hello. Tell me your name, and we get you missed call, so we just call you back for a contribute on the program. Tell me your name and who side they call from, and give you a brief contribution, please.
Okay, Mr. Amadou Koita, commonly known as Comrade Koita.
Hello, Koita.
They call from Freetown, Sierra Leone.
All right. Go ahead with your question or comment for Mr. Abdul Fatoma, or waiting your opinion on the conversation today.
Yes, well, I make a call for life contribute. In the first place, I want to express my thanks and appreciation to Sarah Jem for not give full opportunity for make the able come and discuss something the way they want them. You know, contribution of Kina. Well, they say it's better some late than never. I would say so many things happen in a salon today. They still set them and contribute greatly for make what's in the happen so. Because at the end of the day, if they may behave, they don't behave in the professional way without playing active politics. So they don't do anything because of the one that they particular power, because of you transfer or religion. They can't likely say, maybe you don't come from them long ago. So because all of them believe, it means that not an APC sympathizer or supporter, whatever happens, during when APC are not to condemn them at all, which some of we they are against. But however, you don't see certain things that we actually say is very correct. We say I want to come on a base of the human rights because me, now it's been a victim of the human rights abuse that alone. Of course, in the Fatoma, when they arrested me last year, by now I was in prison, unlawfully detained in an incarceration. This Pademba Road on April 29, up to date, nothing with such organization, no graph, a single word about what's happening inside Pademba Road. We up till now, some of who declare for justice because we know exactly what's happening inside. It is really uncalled for enough of it ever happen. You see, when they talk about corruption, if we have corruption, you need to begin go back 20 years or 30 years ago. If it is really honest, now we don't get the evidence to show all the talk. Nothing was like the way ever that for challenge this year openly. We all this alone in no that talk. No challenge openly. What's in about it instead, most of them they try for and tune the case, you know, because don't fall the first lady in hate. This is an allegation. They all get right for come now as the patriotic Salon and them all mean well for Salon, as me can see Salon big password, for let them defend the country very well. They can't begin to so. Me are well pleased with the statement for today, but I'll let you say there are a lot of Salon and there are over 5,000 will not start unlawfully just because they think they are APC or they are not based on tribal or regional line basis, period. So as they don't start so now, at the appeal to make it continue this trend so that maybe you are what we look at them say in the SSP sympathizer and I make me talk we will look at them and if somebody will say that is patriotic that will be well for this country, that's a short contribution. All
right, thank you so much. And Mr. Fatoma highlights something in a presentation where he talk about the constraints, you know, for help 600 people, you know, face their case against government, we force reluctant or we're not ready, it's challenging. And he highlighted the issue of funding because if you get fund for a specific project, that fund a restricted project fund, you not get for use them for other things because then you would corrupt and the organization we fund you go ask you for pay them money back because not to that even tell them for do you have a scope, you get for go within that scope day. Anything outside that, you know, it's unacceptable. So possibly I'm not defending what he's saying, but I just want for take that, but at least you ask, say, let them continue for talk more. They listen you and we'll make sure say he respond to you when in time reach. And also we get for bring you safely you can tell we about your experience on human rights violation and the Pademba Road issue at some point. So please send us a message and then we'll get in touch with you on that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, welcome, brother.
All right, so keep making your calls to the phone number +1 614 551 8694 and ask Mr. Fatoma questions or you know, share your opinion. Mr. Fatoma, while we wait for other calls, then waiting you want for say so far. Sorry, Lago, ask you for unmute.
Yeah, I will first respond to me. You know, Quetta, I come across in WEF and one of in friend. when I be go for the student, the way they be whole, a Lincoln Queen will also be provide legal representation for them and facilitate their release. That'll be the day I know Quetta in woman and in friend, where they approach me say Quetta day na detention, na CID, but then they try.
Mr. Fatoma, hold on there. We get another call. Let's connect that caller there. Sorry about that. We'll keep that thoughts there when they come to you. The calls then they keep jamming, so on a bear with me. We are not avoiding your call. It's just that when they call them, the jam, it can be challenging. Later. All right, we will go back to this caller here. Let us see if I will take another call. Sorry, on bear with me. The calls then they jam, so it is a little bit challenging. Let's see. All right, Mr. Fatoma, continue whilst I wait for the call. Sorry, Tibo, if you can unmute Mr. Fatoma, please.
Okay, like I say, a Quetta, a woman, and a friend to Quetta, approach me and tell me about Quetta in conditions. Then straight away, I get an audience. I get my number. From there, we start putting pressure. And when we put with justice under lockdown during this corona time, we highlight the Sierra Leoneans the way they're unlawfully detained, now with different detention centers across the country, and denying their access to lawyers and also, their family members. I mean, one thing about, like the other caller say, so radio stations and then at this country, they don't go interview me in our office on a very important issue, national issue. When they go back, when the reporters then go back, the station manager then tell and say, they know they play that interview day. Not to one, not to two, not to three, not to 40, several times. And I know they made big guards for turn down any journalist. Any journalist will can have an opportunity that for speak to me people. But
so when they can say Agem Media?
I mean, like, sometimes for exhaust one, I'm a particular group. Even there are some online group that because they talk it's all over in this country. Say I get APC connection, but like me, I'm not getting any discomfort with that. I mean, when I was very much hard, I was SAPP. So when I'm hard now, I mean, I'm APC, and also people say me on Fatoma and Makeni Komo. I have several people from the south.
All right, hold on, let answer this call here. So, hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening, Tawina. Good morning. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. Tell me your name, who's you call from, please.
Yeah, I'm Yusuf from Kuwait.
All right, Yusuf from Kuwait. Go ahead with your comment or question, please.
Yeah. First of all, I thank you very much, Sierra Leone, for this wonderful work you do. And the same thanks and appreciation go to Mr. Fatoma. What I immediately try to say is actually we need for holds with government and responsible. This law for change this, I like we change this law 10 times. But the intention with them people at the count, the intention with the ordinary citizens can get for Sierra Leone, which is very bad. They are this partisan, everything about partisan. So what me suggest is that if really we're able to get the leadership they're responsible, like after the 10 years of or 5 years of office, before Passover service, let there be a way where they don't come out at all, then they inside it, and then tell me something where it will be better. And if they never face anything like a commission of inquiry or anything, they will do that. Because the way government has become now, they come with different intention. Madam, you don't clearly show we say, yes, waiting be not the past, waiting be not the plan, and then they can put in place, and which is very bad. All you can see, you can have to the way it happen. So do, like Mr. Fatoma, the baseline on this Human Rights International, I hope they already in the talk, let God make them take them into consideration, and the Parliament work on that, for let we go for no we shall we go. because 60-year-old man not to take anything.
Right.
It's now 120 cents you get for lease. It don't cost. It don't do nothing more than at the middle line.
Right.
So let we really diasporas then get a lot. We get a lot to do with Sierra Leone issue. If we don't go back and really consider this thing, we will talk. Let me not give the president them the heads of state and this function all thing about them. Now, look where this man can. Now he do the massive sack under this tribalism business. Everybody know about it. Now he way back to know how to really come out for tell the people like us, look the parliament will kill it. Look where it work this corruption with this don't come. Even they talk nothing. This is intentional. Look what you're doing Passover service. Where they go do inauguration. Look at the kind way they go to Mapna and they line they to go. You the president SQ. We go talk about partyism, tribalism business on party, no vote for. That's not real. So this kind of thing really, we the diaspora them get a lot to do with this thing. Too long left this people talk.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your call, and good night to you day or good morning. And thank you for listening to CDHRI Media and for share with your colleagues them and continue for support the work with Mr. Fatoma and other well-meaning organizations then they do. Not to the one they set motto and let we urge the one that we don't turn mumu or we not the talk at all.
Exactly. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I will do that.
All right, thank you. We'll continue for take the call, or we say you wait the call, please bear with me if we're not able to get you in. Let I call this call I asked to let come broke with platform. Hello caller.
Hello?
Yes, caller, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, tell us your name and where you're calling from, and please make your contribution, either comment or question, please.
My name is Matilda J. Cole. I'm calling from Ottawa, Canada.
All right, welcome. You see, we don't call you back. We not just answer you call, we call you back. See eh?
After I don't let go 12 call for you, I don't make so.
All right, so say thank you very much to CDHRI Media. Go ahead with your comments.
You are making a Mojuba. You know, say I don't get for Mojuba.
That's all right. Go ahead, please.
Anyway, so I want to say thank you very much to Mr. Fatoma, first of all, for taking on, a lot of these courses, especially when it comes to, state advantage, state discrimination, against the populism, especially when it comes to, labor, employment, and whatnot. See, the thing people can get for understand is that Fatoma is only just one person. Fatoma can only do what Fatoma is able to do within the confines and limitation of his budget and means. If you like what Fatoma they do, then why don't you, if you get small thing in a corner, put and say, miscellaneous fund for help continue the work what you do, like he said. And I know how international, budgetary and sponsorship and, grants system, then they work. If you don't go write a project proposal and you say, now this your project proposal they about, and then you take that project proposal, they will then disburse your fund. When you write back your report and you put something different, the organization, they not get for watch you anymore.
Right.
So for make it continue waiting it they do, in the legitimacy of what they do, it get for stick within the confines of the project where it writes for. Now that's beside the point. You see, everything interconnected in Salon. And then nothing is isolated. If even you fix the labor law, you don't fix the constitution, guess what? The work is useless. If you fix the parliamentary rules and regulation, and you fix this, you fix that, but you not fix the constitution, when from there everything else trickles down, then we're just wasting our time. That is not to say it is not important for us to fix these things. It is very important for us to fix these things. Because, how you go there in a country where they still they operate under a 1971 labor law, and we're in 2021, This is why these institutions are brazen enough and these individuals are brazen enough to take all these arbitrary sole decisions on these people and exert them power and dominance over them. Because first of all, the labor, the civil service itself, they are not fair with what's right and what's wrong.
Right.
Because first of all, the labor laws get flow from the central government. Once the central government set up now, from there now, all of the other institutions, private or otherwise, then they draw from for rights their own, because their own rule cannot be different from that of the state, of the sovereign state.
Right.
It has to go in tandem with the sovereign state.
Right.
So you see, when we talk now, a multiplicity of issues then we get.
I can say, Matilda, Salon issue with not being pessimistic or, trying for top down on the country. But Salon problem, it's like we get old clothes, we don't old to or we yanda chair, we try for technical and trade for so yanda back chair. So now that kind of problem we get. That's what we see Salon.
Exactly.
Problem. It's a headache.
Exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly, you're right.
Well, thank you so much.
And you see, the thing is that, and when I can talk, just like, associating, okay, so now I associate a civil society person with a parliamentarian. People think, oh, KKY not they talk, KKY not they talk. KKY is one person. When the man gets up in parliament to speak, then begin actable. So how is audience granted to someone where somebody they try to put an issue across, then on a begin actable, then on a turn around and say the person or they talk. How do you expect him to talk? It's the same thing. Right. Now this man is being isolated. Okay, he's been how you call it? He's been zeroed in. Like where it just say it says certain stations then where you can then they interview on very important issues, but the station master not go agree for play that interview day. Right. So you ask yourself, are you there for the people, or are you there to gain recognition from a particular institution or party in power, and how long will that last? So is it that you're living or earning, it's on a rotational basis, depending on who is in power?
Well, thank God for new media. Fatoma is always welcome to CDHRI Media and Voice of Sierra Leone, right?
Of course, Fatoma. Fatoma, listen. Call your girl, Matilda J. Cole. Right. You will never regret sitting with me. Trust.
Right. So anytime, if you never can CDHRI Media, you want to go viewers, you can go viewers. There are platforms to share your opinions and views. All right. Thank you so much, Matilda. I'll answer another call as well.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, keep calling and bear with me. There is another caller. Let I answer this call as well. And Mr. Fatoma, you get for listening. I hope you take notes. All right, the caller. Hello, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir. This is CDHRI Media. Tell me your name and who say the call from and what's in your contribution.
My name is Ibrahim Koroma, and I call from California.
All right.
Thank you very much, Mr. Presenter, for this opportunity, and thank you, Mr. Fatoma. I just want to make a few remarks first before I ask Mr. Fatoma a question. Mr. Fatoma has been one of the few people that were consistent in the country regarding things the way they happen with people they're not happy with. I mean, like every other organization, it try for doing your own best. So we tell and thank you, and we hope it will continue. So now, Mr. Fatoma, I think you talk very nicely about things that already happen under the present regime and which did not happen before. But civil society, where you belong to, also gets a responsibility at the state. And you agree with me, say, the vast majority of the population of the country believes, say, the civil society is complicit in most of the things that already happen. What do you think, say, under the current
dispensation, which is the role of civil society. And secondly, how you as a member of the civil society will work with others for whole people them within a group responsible for some of the things the way they happen. Because A, they are either not doing their work as civil society organizations or the usual work we will be studying for, and B, waiting will be the responsibility of una all, to una self and to the country as a whole. So because we want to understand why some civil society groups them, they're very active when a particular regime day, and then other term, where another particular regime day in power, they are not active. They turn in blind eyes to things the way they happen. So people they're very, very concerned about how they retrogress the country. So I want for AE from you, waiting that then things there I don't highlight and basically educate the people how for support to them, going forward. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Koma. Thank you for that question and your comment. Thank you. All right, we go to another caller, and we just want to give people a much opportunity for share their own views, and questions as well, and ask them questions so they're able to understand the issue better. Because if you not talk, you not engage, you not go know. Hello, caller. Yes. If you mute your Facebook where you listen to, so you know we'll get interference. Tell me your name, who say you call from, and which in a question or comment, please.
I call from London. Usman Conte.
Mr. Conte.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the host, Sarah Jen, and I want to commend Mr. Fatoma based on all what you don't talk this night. And I encourage them for let you do more. Their work in the interest of the country. Because based on what you don't talk, I say you work for the betterment of that country. Let keep it up. Let don't listen to people. Because always people in the allegiance, like SAPP man, or let forget what they work in the best interest of the country.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Conte. We appreciate that contribution. Mr. Fatoma will respond shortly. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, sir.
All right. Yeah. All right, there's another caller from London. We'll miss that one. I get for returning call because they don't send me messages. They'll see if we're able to forget them. Hello, caller.
How are you, Mr. Bar?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Sorry, we missed you multiple calls them, and we get your message, so we not ignore them. So tell me your name,
okay,
who side you they call from, and which in a comment and contribution, please.
Okay, my name is CD Bar. I'm calling from London, England.
Okay, Mr.
So my own question, my own thing is, I want to thank this guest who I get to, and we are all for the good work that they do, and for expose the corruption and for bring awareness to the people.
Right.
So my own contribution is, I think as Sierra Leoneans, we all get a very, very huge role to play. As soon as the media, the media will get a very big role as well, because the role that they play right now is education, because I believe the generational problem, the multi-generational issues, then don't affect we all of we. So anybody in a Sierra Leonean, you did a diaspora, you did back home. I think the really diasporas we don't wake up. But when we go back home, they become part and parcel of the problem. Now only few people them they choose to remain impartial or to join the Kabudu, So me, I want to thank you all and this guest they have to say, let you continue the good work. Now, not to say that post you work for a nation, you work for bring awareness to the country. Let you join on with like-minded individuals, them such as Una, the one in the media. Let then help bring awareness. I believe say we need the mentoring programs at Sierra Leone for mentor the people because the mentality is very different. They talk to Sierra Leoneans, educated ones them back, but the way they think, you can make it so, you can make it feel so down and think about that this country may come out. Why would they think that way? Why would they think less of yourself? Why self-interest and selfishness get to take over the whole, the whole entire, you want to know big part Sierra Leone. If you get money, you live in a house, very fine house, but you know they get electricity, just as the gentleman mentioned. You know they get electricity, simple electricity. You don't have that. You don't get water. Then you suffer. To be honest, you suffer. Right. So let we all try, follow, we put the interest of the nation and the development of the country, as one. Because we get a lot of talented people in the diaspora. So I'm your contribution, and then I thank you so much. Let God bless you now, and let God continue for elevate Sierra Leone to the stages where we hopefully we go able to see the changes where we want to see. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ba. Thank you very much for that contribution. I think there was one more call from Sierra Leone we missed. Let us go to that call there. I hope the person will pick up because we want to give people opportunity for say. Let me see this caller here. I don't know. Hello, caller. You called us earlier on the CDHRI media platform. We missed your call, so we just return your call. Waiting at your name, please.
Yeah, and my name is Sulaiman Ba. Call from Sierra Leone.
So on that, Mr. Bad, they will just say this not about program. For a disclaimer, yes. I know Sabi, you know Sabi, me know so. Now the first time this me talk to you. All right, go ahead. I'm just joking.
No.
Hello? Yeah, make your contribution quick, please. We'll get other callers.
Yeah, so I just try for because I watch the program. I try for beat myself to the program.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you so much.
I just want to tell the man on the platform. Thank you very much for continuing with the good job.
Okay.
Because it's my soul
you don't listen to the program now. For mute yourself, please. All right. So don't lose that caller there. Hello, caller.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Tell me your name and who side you call from, please.
Yeah, Mina Adama Mambo. I call from Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Yeah, go ahead, Adama.
Yes, I want to thank you very much, SGM, for the good work that they do. And I'm so happy for you guests at the studio this evening. But what I want to know from Mr. Fatoma is that as a civil society, we don't get plenty incidents that we don't happen at the country. We don't ever they see they come out for protest or demonstrate against this government here. And we believe say for things then go be corrected. Now where we come out as a people, then the government will know say they're doing all right. But they know they ever call for demonstration. But Fatoma na one person when we don't see in SLPP Galia, it demonstrates, it chants, and it's a thief. It demonstrates, but now it's all quiet. Well, I know they say maybe we could because you can't outline all what thing they do. But as far as we concern as now as they so, they suffer as a people in this country with all the killings, with all the bad thing that happen, and worst of it now with all the recent thievery where they go on at this country. They're not able to come and organize a protest where we go come as a country where the international world will know say this government they do things they were very, very wrong and bad. So much so that they as civil society they don't contribute for later they continue for give an accolade Now this country, look recently the anti-corruption man just they get an accolade say it they do well. Now because they assist civil society them, they're not going for stand up against this government for reasons best known to themselves. They can't somebody say, well, one government in a power, then they see very active civil societies. When they come out, you see them go, they all go low. But I not say don't really make at least we get some peace, you know, which all the way through they go to this country. But now Fatoma the responsibility for call out for demonstration. Because we as a people no more, we're not going to do that one day. Unless we get the civil society, then we have the responsibility for CCA people and come out and protest for waiting the money.
Right.
And that's a call for.
All right. So Adama, thank you for your call and thank you for being an avid CDHRI media follower, because week in, week out with the CNA Miss Any program. But let me ask you, you think, what do you think the demonstration organized by civil society organization, what do you think that could do? It will change anything, or what do you think?
Yes, it will change. Believe you me, if civil society they not be on compromise, if they come out, they organize the demonstration like how we been get the last 10, we got away been just called for communicator, been called for one December 1st demonstration. When few people then come out for the one, they're going to arrest them. But me not say if civil society is possible, like Fatoma, where it well known internationally, it come out and arrange a protest when me self also go ready for come out and go to that protesting. So God, he go make an impact. He go create a very big impact for in this country. But because things they happen with a stomach come, we just don't know. We don't get nobody when they talk. But it's like they on social media who they listen to. Honestly, we don't get radio for listen to and everything. I make we so active for listen to now. So like una kind a medium. So you see, if they come out Fatoma, if they come out someone, then go see say at least the bad thing that they happen, no go happen. Like this will happen. So recently like now, they go kill somebody one day picking just for rally, no rally business. On election, we're not on a date for rally. If we come out to go, will stop. But then hundreds of people they don't die there. Fatoma they're not able to come out and so say this thing will go on. That place is bad. You know, it is very serious. That people also they need to organize a protest where people are for coming in thousands. I didn't have them. They call for a nuisance and movement, Black Tuesday and all, but now not really anything of the sort. They get even protest against the anti-corruption commissioner, where they go and play in your politics by your corruption way they said. So Fatoma, me, you don't impress me in any way. Anyway, you don't impress me. Thank you very much, Mr. Ba.
All right, thank you so much, Adama. Thank you very much for that call. Let us see. We can't give Fatoma a chance for respond because they don't bombard questions, comments, and this last one fire up. There's a call we missed just now. Let's see if we'll call him back. So Cherry Berry, if you want for call, we go answer you. You know, not so by if we miss you call, we go call you back. Hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Tell me your name.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, tell me your name and who say you the call from.
Mohamed Kamara from Sierra Leone.
Mohamed Kamara, go ahead.
Mohamed Kamara from Sierra Leone.
Go ahead.
I thank you very much for this program. We will listen because we medias in this country can just doom the social, the 19.1, the civil society, they all doom. We're glad they go on with this program who they get to help at least for the talk about government issue within the corruption. I thank you now very much. I always follow our program. Thank you now very much.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate your contribution. And for continue for share the platform so more people will benefit as well from within the likes of Mr. Fatoma that they can share with we, right?
Okay, no problem.
All right,
we'll share on our program.
Okay.
Yeah?
All right. Okay, stay blessed. Yeah. All right. Well, we go open let give Mr. Fatoma chance for come. You don't hear everything, you know. No need for repeat to you again. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, definitely. I want for response to we last sister, we talk. And I appreciate them so much that, I not get anything for impress them because my objective not to for impress anybody. Like I tell you, I don't turn down awards then at this country because I don't want, for be celebrated for doing, this work hypocritically. Because most of the award in this country is not deserving, it's hypocrite. And can't tell you, say, you get for sponsor, you get for buy things, buy table and that. So like I tell them, say, if you think say they do a good work, I mean, you need for do. And I'll go meet you, say, I want for do this. I voluntarily choose myself for being in this sector. So now back to the issues that we raise. I participate in several demonstrations and throughout my career in London and other places. I don't demonstrate in New York. I don't demonstrate in Brussels. I don't demonstrate in London. Any demonstration we can towards the heartbeat of my interest, we organization, in objective. I'm ready to participate, to call any government official or government a thief. Like this administration, I know one day compromise on either lock me eye for shame for talk say they are corrupt. They are corrupt. Because corruption is going on in this administration. And we are not seeing nothing much done about that. We as a citizen. It's heart-rending. Then the other thing where they talk about Kailan, where you been to talk to me, I tell you, say, for this month, I don't go to Kailan twice, all in the interest of this election. Chadi, Interreligious Council, and the eminent women, peace mediators, they form one group where they call Election Conflict Prevention Management. Election Conflict Prevention and Mediation Group. Now we work with the constituency 110. Caddy Davis, if you did listen to me, or anybody they closer to, I can call and let it training. Caddy Davis remain grateful for my leadership, in that committee, in ensuring in people the way them been the whole and detain them. Now the Lumley police station, the I don't care police station, I guarantee and ensure say them go be released before election. Even the one the way they arrest during the election, they release them before Christmas. And they return back and appreciate me. Again, the guarantee say, let it tell me what's in expectations. So, when we go back to Kailan, the 9th, we meet with the SLPP and the APC. The APC candidates continue up to now as at the talk. They get in touch with me, issues the way that challenges them within and the security sector. Are they mediate between the two? And the independent candidate not be present on that day. So when we left Kailan, after a few days, now this incident happened. And this person will even die. We're currently in post-mortem, they go on at the Kenema Government Hospital. Now the independent candidate, in your brother in Peking. And the independent candidate, when he go na bush, now me talk to her for let it come. When I even talk to her, it confessed to me, say, it be get for call people the way they sponsor and where they abroad, where the US and other countries. We tell and say, that man, they a straightforward man, listener and with himself. That was the time he get confidence for Commander Bush, for can talk to PPRC Friday. Then the Saturday, I then inside Kailan, where he come out and talk to me and tell me in challenges. Yesterday, a rally, he called me before he start in rally. After in rally, he not able to call me. Today, he called me this afternoon. He tell me, say, be so tired, let me forgive her. Now that make him not call me yesterday. But today, he called me for tell me thank you. That now he got police the way, because there and there at the town hall meeting where we call, I tell the police and say, state responsibility. Therefore choose say, this belongs to that party, that party. You work for the people of Sierra Leone. You don't work for the government of the day. I know it reminds me what when it comes to that. When I go to McKinney, the time where the riots be there in McKinney, when I talk to the young people in McKinney, when I talk to the elders in McKinney, I address the military and the police in that same format, where one, even the brigade commander, where in mistake talking at the high table say, not a mistake, where he talking at the high table say, in the serve the government of the day, I tell and say, yes, sir, with all you rank, I care less about that at this moment. But that utterance is very, very much uncomfortable because you're not a public officer. You know for tell we say you they work for the government of today. That is unacceptable. I continue challenging sitting ministers, now public, on issues where what's it happen right in front of me. Picking the way attend and demonstration, like I tell you, the student and Likonkwi, we provide legal representation for them. We ensure say they're not sleep themselves. We ensure say then get lawyers and we will help them get them out of the thing where government say. So if you organize a demonstration, my sister, as long as it's concerned about the people of this country, in a genuine way, I'm coming out with you, you know, me not possibly afraid that because
but Mr. Fatoma, waiting they call for is the reverse. Because like what you said, don't highlight, people are scared.
I've never organized, listen to me here.
No, I just tell you waiting at the ask, then you will explain to them.
No, yeah, I mean, I never organized any protest throughout
no,
the
but
life.
then say how you go reach out to other civil society organizations.
That's not a question of another person. I'm there for
Mr. Koroma, yes.
Yeah. I mean, let me explain this now. People then get emotional with national issue and dive into something where they don't get any understanding.
So you are allowed to take this call? This person
no, I mean, you get to wait for us. Look, when we done this segment, then
go ahead. All right. I will call the person back if we miss
it. Yeah, so I not go and lost the trend.
End of thought. Go ahead. Respectful.
So now, the civil society where people then they talk about is an open and free space. Now every country get their own nomenclature, how then they call it. In the West, they call it charity organization. So then go, then register through the 501 something, US, the UK, we get the charity commission, and Germany, then get the charity, you know, these are where they register their organizations. The fact that you see social issue in your community, or you see a cause in your community where you want for participating, even trade union, the bar association, they are all civil society. You know, the religious group, they are all civil society. But then we get civil society the way, even political parties, they are civil society. We get civil society the way form on a political ideology, where then for promote political party then policy.
Yeah.
That's what they choose. And you forget sense enough for no say, this not all the civil society, this, they fight for we the people. These are the civil society, this, where they protect and promote politicians, then view and interest, you know, but this civil society, you know, this too. So you foresee that, not because of say, oh, this person belongs to a civil society, now, like where we all know what a man, where some woman can say, all men are the same dog-born man there. You know, some woman they can talk them. They get some man there as well, they generalize all problem, you know, one in experience to all women. Likewise, you know, a woman there in one experience with man, it generalizes that problem they to all. So that's the way how people in this country look at civil society. But you still get a genuine civil society then, where they speak for the people. I mean, like, if I choose, say, I want to support SLPP ideology, are they at me liberty like you, where they at liberty for support whatever ideology? If I had at me liberty, say, I support APC or NGC or C4C ideology, it's my right. I mean, that's my focus. If not, then they fund me, I mean, that's what I will do. So you see this civil society, when I know they contribute to them. So maybe the politician, and then they give them men and their money.
Yeah, but Mr. Fatoma, the challenge where people then get some.
When you go through me pay, no, you don't need to forget a challenge. When
no,
you
the challenge where they talk about the citizens of this country, because these people, they masquerade themselves, say they are independent, that they work in the interest of the people, but then become defenders and justifiers of state corruption, state violence, human rights abuses. Yeah.
Juma, I don't tell you, say, and the people, the utterance of that man or that woman, we say it is a civil society, but throughout in work mandate, now for praising politicians, protect and defend politicians. Why you need for mix and say, it stands for the cause of human rights, it stands for the cause of social justice, it stands for the cause of workers' rights, it stands for the cause of promoting lesbian and gay, it stands for the cause of religious rights, indigenous people. Why you need for?
Because then they rob a civil society organization like yours, where
no,
they do
they're not the rob. They're not the rob.
Because the funding
No,
way
which
for them to you,
which category they make them belongs to? Juma, listen me. Even the political parties, they are civil society.
True.
Even the political party. So if them people then they support politicians, which category? They are not government people. And when you are not working for government, everything you do is civil.
Right.
That's the reason. And we belong to a wider community, the entire community. That's the society we belong to. So they are not robbing us. It's the people that are not having the mentality to choose this organization or this individual. It not stand for social justice. It not stand for, minority rights people. It not stand for religious rights issue. It not stand for human rights issue. It not stand for lesbian and gay issues. It only stand for protecting and defending politicians. When you go through my page, since the day where you know me, you don't ever see anything of promoting any government or any political party. No, not in my vocabulary.
Right.
What is in my vocabulary is to hold government accountable.
Right.
And show to the people that, the government say you get an obligation. Matilda talked about the Constitution. We launched the constitutional campaign, the review about 2019, late 2019. Another platform like you, the Sierra Network Radio, now them be host we and partner with we. They're able to raise about 500. We'll only be able to print few stickers, give Okada riders, put on some strategic points. The idea is that the people not even know how dangerous the Constitution of Sierra Leone is. We get so many acts then, where of late we don't pass. They're well modernized past the Constitution, but they not go grow past, picking out a big pass in mama. Right. So the Constitution, now the mother of all laws, now any country. So even when you modernize, you act them, you have the statutory laws, and they cannot be as powerful as the Constitution. The Constitution of this country, it not guarantee any picking at this country a right to education. If government fail for provide educational access or educational environment for that picking, you cannot take the government to court like you can do in the UK. If the Secretary of State fail for let that picking get access to school, you can take the Secretary of State or the local council in the UK to court for failing to provide a service. If a Secretary of State for more Home Office fail for allow a family for reunite, you get the liberty. But then when we can, your right to health is not guaranteed. All of we social issue, we get political and cultural rights. Now, in more we Constitution talk about. It's not talking about the social economic rights about citizens. And one of the most fundamental things where the citizens of this country highly deprived of. And the citizens where believe in the political party ideology, and where believe say if you not praise them party, if you not talk something in favor of the party, you not talk it, you not exist itself in this country. That has been a whole lot of problem. Then we other brother also talk about the very thing about law. They say if we change the law, nothing not the change. But yes, but the law, now the first thing, now in they bring order and peaceful, and peace now with society. Now, like you get the Police Act, 1964. It's where they take pledge. The thing where still the inside that law will not repeal it or neither amend that. The only amendment of it, now when we do the 1991 Constitution, when we change from commissioner of police to the AIG rankings, when we bring in IG, deputy IG, whatever. But when you look at the 1964, it say the police, where they take oath, if I take oath, say a pledge in loyalty to the Queen and his successors that the United Kingdom. That's what the 1965 Police Act is saying. And we are still using that act. We are still using that act. You get the you get also the Criminal Procedure Act. You get the 1965 Public Order Act, where infringe on freedom of movement, freedom of assembly, freedom of association, you know, the very right way they talk about, say, we for demonstrate. You get an act. Now, the only act that they way powerful past the Constitution of Sierra Leone, the 1965 Act, a Public Order Act. The 1965 Public Order Act, now, in say, if you want for demonstrate, if you consult the Sierra Leone police. The Sierra Leone police now take down the, you know, with power, say, I therefore authorize you. If they not authorize you, you know for come on and do. If you come on and do, that same act back give them power, say, you don't break public order.
Right.
Orderly behavior. And this, that. So when you look at them laws, and they're not good for modern day democracy. These are things and way we don't they talk about. Salon has 7.something million people. We don't get 1,000 people now where they listen to this program. The few way they listen, the one they talk to now, the one they know they listen. As far as they know, Fatoma not talk it.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, you have over 1,000 listening right now.
You know, yeah. So like I say, yeah, you get a whole problem of the one they were listening. Let me say 5,000 listen. But we're talking about 7.5 million people.
True. So
even 1 million listen me. There are 1 million believe that. I'm not talking that yet.
Right.
I go Kailan, I come. I talk about the incident in Kailan. I Twitter. I put on my Facebook page. Facebook only limits me. Forget, you know, 5,000. And me follow a page 5,000. I mean, I think that I get now on Facebook. But on my Twitter, I get about 1,100.
Okay.
You know. So
if somebody they ask we couple of questions. The first one we related to which they answer. So they say, can you ask Mr. Fatoma if he can organize a nationwide protest with other CEOs, CSOs? Sorry.
No, listen me. Since I returned permanent in Australia, we organization. We only don't partner now with Interreligious Council and Eminent Women. Eminent Women are big responsible for them. With the Eminent Women. Interreligious Council, we enter in partnership with them, trusting that they are religious people. But it's very clear in partnership, the very day, you know, then compromise we stand. What do we stand for? For mediate issues, for avoid conflict. Then take her as a political something. We rejoin ourselves. So we know that even they're part of civil society coalitions in this country. We restrict ourselves for not the part of it. Like I tell you, we know one day organize demonstration. But if you organize demonstration, even not me organization, but me as an activist, we believe in free speech, freedom of assembly, you know, expressing my opinion, I would definitely be there. I mean, me not one person, the one that we don't follow me know me. I know they hide behind for talk.
True.
I talk openly. You like me, you not like me. I even like people that will not like me. I appreciate them back. Now I make you see that my sister there, I tell her and say, I appreciate her for where, you know, I'm not able to impress her. I appreciate that.
Right.
You know,
okay.
And I'm not there for impress nobody.
Right.
You know, so like the other several callers them been the same. We look at issues at this country instead of we look at from a genuine platform. How we as a Sierra Leonean we look at. If I want to forget a political gain, political capital, I mean, the time APC they in power, I was that vocal in this country. And when APC come in power, I was that vocal. The Tiama party office at Kenema, where they on fire, where they attack APC office, will pull out press release and come on the radio and the television. When the economy begin go bad in this country, go look Concord Time and others. These are records, these are facts. Nobody can change them. We talk heavily on this thing. Till to the time, radio stations and go call me say, Mr. Fatoma, can we program a money? As though clean and call me say, oh, we don't cancel that program. Mr. Fatoma, can we television? This morning, we want to talk on this issue. As I go there on my way and say, Mr. Fatoma, sorry, we don't, but the program is still going on. But me, as a person, they cancel me. Right? And then, when they talk, say, oh, well, let's civil society do this, let's see office rents. Who say we occupy na Panema Road? You know, the rent. If donor not give you the rent, who's how they go pull out? Now we get for pay. You know, and you don't get property along the side and they for less than $7,000. A very bigger space.
Right.
So you and your landlord now and then get forget that. But people oversee the Amnesty International, we're very active, where the whole government, both the government and external government accountable. You get people where they contribute every month. The British Red Cross, the Salvation Army, and all this. You have citizens who subscribes to that. And when they fail now, they not act. Now they tell them for the holla, say, oh, when they civil society, they contribute money to, then keep them motto. Then tell them then you get the power for talk. Say then keep them motto.
Yeah, but still people still get power for talk even if they not contribute.
Yeah, I mean you get power for talk, but then how you want to hold me accountable for go as far as Kabbalah, for go investigate a particular situation what happened to the citizens in another part. My brother, now fear at the buy, I put another motuka, travel go Kabbalah, and travel go car. And where don't or not give me specific money for go look how they beat people there in a million village, boom chiefdom. How policeman handle them. So I mean, you can still talk, yeah, because we come forward say we they talk for the public.
Exactly, that was my point. Yeah.
But then the other countries and where they talk about. I mean, when you see civil society organizations, they work like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, Human Rights First. You know, Equality Now. You get people who pour money into that. Yeah. And one way of the accountability process is to ensure that say the financial statements not only limited to the big donor, it become public. Because if you over 1,000 people then do, you don't get for print 1,000, financial statement and send them to them people then they. So they always make the financial statement public. So the public contribution, they know how much they give, other donors, they know how much. So they're able to keep track. Yeah. Some organizations, and they just because of them get, ethics problem, like Save the Children. When they get an ethics problem in the UK, where with the Pekin and Haiti, right. And Liberia, you see how people then be run for withdraw and support. They say not to them can't see them, then they support. Okay. So you see that say their institutions and they're well disciplined because they know say the public not they only watch them, but the public contribute.
So are you intending to ask the public to raise funds and support the good work?
No, we don't ask the public. If the public thinks that what we're doing is right, it's close to their heart, I mean, they can come forward. And they can hold
will not know. They will not know. So at least you get a yearly fundraising event that you organize.
I mean, every charity, my brother, even the bigger charity, where they fund the African charities, they receive funding, donation from people. The foundation, the Ford Foundation, the Mercator, the Bill Gates, they still receive funding from other people. And they give those fundings to African charities.
Correct. But Sierra Leone, we are recipients. So the people always believe, say, you have the external funding. So then things say you don't need funds from locally. So that's why I say, don't assume they know. If you think, your organization would want the public, to support the work you do financially, it's your, to appeal to them and tell them whether they do it.
Assuming they know. Right. Like, for example, you get a call-away call from Canada, which tells you understand how grant program work.
Correct.
You get millions of that in Sierra Leone, how grant issue work. You know they give me money for go investigate a matter. Na Kobola, a human rights situation or a social justice situation. Then I go tell you, say, oh, Juma, that money there I use and go Kenema because another human rights team needed it. That's not our deal.
Right.
That's not our deal. So you have interest in something else. And so when you have interest in something else, and say, I'm giving this for the cause of this.
Right.
And now we are obliged to get back to you to tell you what we're doing. So when you see civil society the way they praise them political godfathers, now then they give them the money for let them operate. So where you are not going to support? Why not they give them money? And why you not going to get our understanding saying that this? And then can come and say, oh, they don't lock them up. Let me tell you, some of the challenges we go through, if you then I wish you might not spend a day in this sector. We become isolated for speaking the truth. You know, we become enemy for just speaking the truth. Like I tell you, say, then go can interview, find at your office. Say, listen, you know, the news go there with this afternoon or 9 o'clock or tomorrow morning. You go listen where you call the reporter, but what's happened? You know, now management meeting today, editorial meeting, they say anybody will go interview, go lost in job. Yeah.
Interesting.
We have evidences of those.
So this is the thing where the Africanist press, they talk about, you know, stifling the, you know, civil society and media institutions, not for able for, for taking the interest of the people.
That's one, we are a victim, so we cannot even say, no, it's not existing. We are a victim.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Try for call this person quick. They will carry around because I don't promise them, you know, several times I'll call them back. Let me see now from a Guinea number, I think 224 area code. Okay, they show engage. All right. Hello, caller.
Yes, hello. Good evening.
Good evening. You try for call a couple of times. So tell me your name, who side you call from, and your contribution quick, please.
Okay, Mina Ibrahim.
Okay.
Okay, I call from Abidjan.
Okay.
Yes, of course, it's a very good program. Today, the program was very educative. I just want to ask more thing. Somebody made a call by the name of Adama. I think Adama contributed a very good things. Just like you ask somebody, just like you ask a gentleman, what is poverty? I think what Adama say here, bending after bending a salon, they feel the pinch more than we will the out of salon. Of course, we will the out of salon, we feel the pinch economically. Because right now, if you take like 100,000 CFA, you send it to Sierra Leone, it's something like 2 million. Okay, the expenditure, everything will cost 2 million. So then they call the civil society. Almost right now, we only hope we get, not to the government anymore. We see how molestation they go on. We see how one section of the country they enjoy the national cake, and these civil societies they are there. They are just speak English, just talk this, just compare from one country to the other. No. You see, we don't see on video, we don't see a video who said Francis Ben Kelfala, we don't call for a demonstration. A declared day. So what Tim Adama made say, I think she was making a very good point. Mr. Fatoma, I don't listen to Mr. Fatoma. Of course, he's a very good guy. Yes, we understand. You don't want, yes, it's good. But at which point we get right now, na salon, that we only hope not to them for now. For redeem we from this bad governance system. So secondly also, and possibly they talk about, Mr. Fatoma may talk about the police and the military. I just want to ask Mr. Fatoma, as an experienced civil society activist, did you see that, or I don't know, if the police and the military for now, if they need reform, the police and the military, if they need another reform, because remember Pakaba in this, we say a force for good. Pakaba spent all his time doing this. It was a very good. But after that, we see also where the police and the military, they come back to their own trick. So I just want to ask Mr. Fatoma, the police and the military, do they need a reform? That's my own contribution.
Okay, Ibrahim, thank you so much from Abidjan. And thank you again for calling. You're a regular caller here. Thank you very much. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. We're not going to take calls again. Thank you to the callers. We go allow Mr. Fatoma for answer that question. Then there's been another question here, you know, ragging, you know, the person don't send and repeatedly. Let me see, go back to the chat group and see. Usually T-Boy can help me with this, but today he has bigger duties. I'm sorry, Mr. Fatoma. All right, go to answer this one first. Then I go ask you, Dandy, then you go give you last statement after that. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, they talk about if the police and the military need reform.
Yes, that's part of it. And also supporting Adama's statement that the only hope the people of Sierra, according to your opinion, the only hope now is civil society there right now for take a leadership role for redeem the people and make sure say send message to the government for Dentia for stop. In a nutshell, I think that's what he was trying to get to.
Yeah, I mean, my response first to in supporting the question related to Adama.
Okay.
You know, it's good and it's unfortunate because citizens forget trust in the government. But in a case like I think I've been on talk this earlier on.
Yes.
In a case wherein the citizens and got low interest and low trust in the government, that means the government not they represent them people then the government they represent themselves. You know, if you see citizens and they turn them back on government institution and only go say, Mr. Fatoma, I don't want them meet you yet. I don't listen you, but you're a man with integrity. And they left all these documents to you and no say they not go missing. Eh? These are the utterances of people the way they call them case. They don't take them case the other side then document the way that form part of the evidence, then disappear. Now this government institution. So if somebody come, you know, one day just for left documents say, for let you see saying that this I make up my case. But I trust you because you get integrity. So that means that say we don't lose faith, we don't lose confidence, we don't lose hope on the people then way every 5 years we they gather, we they fetch ourselves, we kill ourselves, we broke ourselves, we host them, we market them, we boss ourselves, we hide them, we butu by ourselves, we knock pot by ourselves, say we they change government. Because this government ain't go bring change. Then I take 1 year, then they come here regret self. Why they vote for them halaki people there, but then because them company, all kind manner of course. Still, government after government, they continue to tell us, no, we not be corrupt past, we no go, no, we not even reach your corruption level with. No, we not don't pass we now. We are 60 years as a nation. We counterpart them. We will all gain independence. They are far ahead of us. The Singapore. The time when we gain independence, North Korea or South Korea, then I be slumline, I be poor country. Now they even give the city hall where they be born for we.
Yeah.
When them be like, we get a battle over the ownership. It belongs to the people of Sierra Leone. Sycophantly political, you know, supporters and say, oh, now party bringer, oh, now party completer, oh, government at work, waiting, we fly, we move, we roll, whatever things. Sycophantly. Thing what belongs to the people, whether country they give you that donation, that grant. It's from this republic to the Republic of Sierra Leone and the people of Sierra Leone. They never cite these political parties. But here are them, even the so-called educated folks, where if you say they ought for no better, but they don't get confidence in themselves. If they don't do these cheap things, they won't have their living. So you expect them. And it will be shameful for let's see how you begin to see they display on social media for let put food on the table.
Right.
If you don't go down to that in kindergarten level where the primary school where they won't be incompetent, they see you how you play that way then. But just make a political survivor.
Right.
You know, we talk that thing there because I mean I get no hesitation for certain things as I see them. Then, you know, when we get a hope on civil society, you know the hope by all civil society. We got few genuine civil society in this country. Very few genuine civil society. And when me cannot, I can't guarantee you say after we, that was the one at the journey. But I know say they are genuine.
So can you name a couple for us that you know?
I already tell you I cannot, so don't even go there. I don't but I don't want anybody commit crime tomorrow or disappoint you. Say, oh, Fatoma be saying
that. This one, all right.
Well, please, I know you go that area then. But I know say they are genuine.
Okay.
And you self need for find out.
Right.
Like I said, See the one way they clap them the politician. See the one way they upset if they curse this politician in the presence. What's going to be in reaction? Then you go able to know, say, these are the political support civil society. These are the social cause civil society. Then, you know, way genuine. So you get for choose. But when the public rely on we, with a very little resources, not even $1 billion budget, so government where they deal with trillion budget. Like I say, if government say they pay 6 staff then at that radio station, then maybe if I go to the radio station, I just give Kolwata money or £1 soft drink money. If you say that station, they go and lost, you know, that 6 staff there, where they go hunt news for her and praise the government where they get money. So definitely, then therefore put me aside. I don't have we don't get the resources, we not be. So, but the expectation, because government don't fail the people, so the people think that say, oh, every time we they talk, every time. Sometimes then the only time I get time for myself, now for make a wash, I eat and they don't sleep. But any other thing, I don't get time for myself.
Right.
And beyond that, you open the Facebook, because this party, you not talk language with them for Yegi, then they curse you mama all day. You know, call your kind name. So now your family member, then they in that fear even. And the reason is that you just choose. Like me, some people, they say, oh, you go left London, you come back Salon, you can't go Salon, you know, if I don't go back. But if we all return back and stay now overseas, now people then sacrifice for them to enjoy the luxury they will be in the country then. But no access them good education, no access them good health care. So if we don't get that experience then, why not we can put pressure on we young people there and change their mentality, say, it's you that can change this country.
Right.
Like they tell people the way, if they go beat pan for somebody where they not care where rest go up, the man where they bring rest for sale, if they load 100 bag go gear. Then out of that 100 bag, if they thought somebody go give the one the way they cost and fed for her. But you will not give cost and fed from that day after election, we knock pot cover. If rest price go up, now you picking and suffer. If house rents go up, now you picking and suffer. So you get for look at inflation price in this country. In 2019, early 2019, when we talk about say life become hard for the people, then President Bill reverse in economic policy. You know, people that say, you know, joke. These people that just cannot more. Now where are we? The newspaper there. When I talk about that, Concord Time and other press there, when they give me an exclusive interview, I saw the whole thing. When I said a clean up George Street, it become a whole thing. With the entire staff there at George Street, from ministers, financial secretaries, and others, I become a target. Why? Because I say the economic policy is not a work. When this bank governor come up with this failed policy, I think on national television, AYV, where can give me platform, you know, sometime. When I talk down there, it's become a whole other issue in this country. There's a why I mean they go say the bank governor failed, the bank governor cannot. I say yes, because I don't see it. I don't compare. The president in New Year message, when I give the analysis, I say other countries there, the prime minister and this, they give hope to them citizens. But we president didn't give us hope. He didn't inspire us. In other countries, New Year's message is a hope and inspirational message. Right. And what we want to see is that we continue for talk, say we go into humanity, say we need cohesion. Now, what is happening in Kailan? They say because the woman not born at Kailan, you know, but he married to Kailan man, because he not born at Kailan, he not sabi talk the language that they talk at Kailan, then party not for gay and symbol. And enough for, you know, but the woman don't deal with him, man. He don't build health center. Not a Kailan Ibonu. But not go to the health center and your place.
And the people they not say they use the health center.
Of course, that's how bad the people are in this country. And hypocrite to the core. So we continue seeing this thing, my brother, because we fear for say the truth. We don't want to tell our brother the truth. Family, I believe, say when me and you two don't born in one family. If I tell you to, you malice me. When you die, Even you die at the same late brother or late sister. We not ever separate because we come on our family.
Right.
So for make I tell you the truth, if you be me paddy, the one that we don't come closer to me, the one thing they can tell you about, he's not afraid to say things. The more derogatory one way they can say, very controversial. I'm not controversial.
Right.
I'm very straightforward with myself.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. We go let's forget you again. As always, this is your platform. Reach out. And this last question, now where this person don't send us so past 50 10. He say I be asked the question where you want begin answer. Me caught you. So I get for redeem myself. Okay. The question say, Juma, don't forget to ask Mr. Fatoma about his thoughts on corruption Ben Kefala investigating on Fatima Biomi's use of salon funds. Meaning that if you get confidence, waiting at your own thoughts, say if Ben Kefala go genuinely investigate Madam Fatima Bio, the present First Lady, for the African Express publications on corruption issues. So that's the question. Then if you answer that, I'll just let you wrap up. You know, you give your last message and all
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now, before ever they go get confidence what's in this investigation, I'll go to a real issue.
Okay.
We bring an issue of 45 million bribe with the Bank of Salon bribe, the Australian police, but let them investigate, you know, the former bank workers. We take the evidence to ACC. To date, nothing absolutely has come out of that. Nothing. Nothing absolutely as I speak. The code and everything. We gave them everything, the SWIFT code, the transaction code and everything, 45 million euro bribe to the Sierra Leone police. I mean, I've said this on radio, on television. When say I talk over.
So you go with evidence to anti-corruption?
Of course, when I say we go with evidence, we go with evidence.
And you don't sign memorandum of understanding for help them for fight.
We also post that evidence on the social media platform, my brother. Nothing has happened. It's over. We get into 2 years now. I believe so. We get into 2 years now. And then if we get a slap, you know, with such issue, I mean, the Red Saga, we know what thing come out of the Red Saga. From where then they review for look inside the indictment, we're getting over, you know, a year now since the withdrawal of that case. Justice delay is justice dead, my brother. Justice delay is justice dead. Because the time when you go for the evidence, maybe they don't destroy. So no justice order for showing it up again. Then we will get the issue of the journalist, Salu. Salu, he sent a text. Where you, Juma, you go ask me, say, Fatoma, I understand, say, government don't bribe you for letting you not talk again. So, if I not say government don't bribe me, I go just tell you, say, Juma, bro, you know, a joker. I go enjoy you like swimming, you joke. Do I need to really tell the police, say, Juma, I need for ask Juma how I manage together. The sad thing in that case, how the bank where you go investigate for collaborate this allegation. Now that you tell say let them bring kind of machine to you. Are they stupid for their corporate image? If they not say that they do money laundering, you know what it costs to their image? The entire Eco Bank across Africa. So do you think they are that stupid to really come up with something? You say, I don't ask the bank don't bring them to me. That was the statement. I mean, look at this trend and tell me if we're going back to 14 years, already ACC in place is full. They don't get even the man capacity with the overwhelming case rate they get. Let's say even they say that they investigate this administration, they are overwhelmed with this administration investigation. And they are overwhelmed with the previous administration, you know, activities, backlog of issues, and everyday corruption. Just imagine the asset declaration said they not reach get 100 staff. The whole investigation team, they not get reach even 500. The ACC staff not reach 1,000. Then you tell me you go back 14 years. You go begin the trace document. and get this, then we can. How many years we get to election?
1 year.
You know. So then, let's say in 24 months, what you cannot do in 36 months, you guarantee me you're going to do it in 12 months, in 24 months. I mean, is that a joke? So, I mean, sometimes I can laugh people. See the reality for yourself and make your judgment. You don't need to fight people. I don't fight people. I see the reality. I get convinced that this is my point. This is my position. If we cannot handle with central banking corruption, which image they send out? We central bank where they host money. If we come in Kaya, they invest. They say I guarantee say the money will go reserve at the central bank, will buy treasury. But if the central bank can take for the 5 million and pay police, say this is a logistic for let una investigate this thing. You don't bribe. You don't pay police to investigate matters. It boldly written there, my brother. This is not a makeup. I don't forge the story. It's there. We pass those informations. Nothing has happened. Nothing, absolutely. You know, I mean, so it's sad for the people of this country because they don't deserve, you know, the treatment where they get from people where they say, now who we vote for take over with governance, for run the affairs of the governance, for ensure say we get pipe-borne water, for ensure say we get clean and stable electricity, for ensure say we get transportation. Let it reach 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Now morning and net. Some man they left in bed 5 o'clock for just Canaton, PZ and beyond, where they live them well into Calbaton. Canada, this country, let's see how people they suffer for access public transport. Where in other countries they see go inside bus, but you know where we don't offer early morning for go work. Then they see say train go floor, bus floor, you wait for the other train. But yeah, then you get for Nat Jamawas. You be see one video where then they push woman under in waist. You know, for throw and through the window. That's derogatory, disrespect. It make the woman lost in dignity. Let me say that day now woman in a cycle. How if forget her confidence for that man is. You don't touch indignity. Disabled people, government put laws say they forget RAM access. You get government building, they will not get RAM access. They not get lift. I mean, will people really deserve this? People they never live on the side of gutter. Now this country. Now gutter. Now they then they live. Now they put one small buffer, put res bar, leave there. The homelessness is so much. The poverty, the aged, nobody look at, government don't look after them. You have, you know, non-governmental organization, people where they beg other people, then give them, then buy clothes for them people there. You know, for ensure say they. Other countries and they, yes, we're not a welfare state. But if you cannot look after the majority of the people, look for the minority people that were disadvantaged. We go from where we get blind school, primary school, we don't get blind secondary school. But in SLPP manifesto, they tell we say they're going to establish specialized schools for the disabled. Me and you know this alone, no, me and they are, but every day they run out and then social media, then Facebook, they hunt for development news. You know when they see blind secondary school or a special needs school for autistic pekin, you know, so the moment you get PQ autistics, it's out of education at this country.
Yeah.
The death. The moment you don't primary school, then they send an vocational school that taught street and mountain court. You know, for go land weaving and other. But other countries, we don't see Harvard produce a student where a deaf, a blind, they become a lawyer. Oxford don't produce a deaf student when a lawyer, when an economist. But in Sierra Leone, now for weave, for make baskets. Now the best side that even that deaf student, the blind student will attempt for become a lawyer. They say, no, we not get that kind of braille system for you for let you advance. So third year and I didn't way out of the course. So we get a lot of challenges in this country. We don't talk about that. You talk about an escroma whole day. What does that have to do with the poverty where the people then live in? You talk about Mother Bio. You talk about Cherry Coco. You talk about Kande Yunkela. You talk about, Sam Sumana. You talk about Samura Kamara. You talk about Abdul Fatoma. Waiting that they change. The pipe bomb water where you not get. The blackout where you and our tuna best friend. The dust. Some man from where he born. The street where they. One day see tar. The road not tar. Ordinary solar light where dull past torchlight. If somebody put on at this country, oh, the king at this village don't do so much well. The reason being that since we're them born, some man done 45, he only knows street light per picture.
But you're right about that, Fatoma, because some people their whole assets na salon where you say you get assets if he died today, wait till they left for him family. If you get torchlights, you get umbrella, then it gets radio for battery radio. This, not so tape cassettes radio where they listen. So if you get them thin and day, you get assets neither they left for your family. It is, you might want to trivialize it, but that is the seriousness of the poverty, the depression where we go through our country.
That's just the reality, my brother. If you go to those slum places, we got over 6,000 slum dwellers. I don't mean mountain slum dwellers. They're down the slope, close to the water. You go from the Banana Water place. You go down to Crew Bay, Susan's Bay, Gota, Mabela. If you see people still then at this tongue, now inside wheelbarrow, then they lay them for bringing them kind of main road. For let them find keke or taxi for them now. Let them transport them hospital. Inside wheelbarrow, where you go now then Susan's Bay, my brother.
That's in Freetown. Let people understand. Say not to upline this. Now inside Freetown.
This is inside Freetown. I mean, this is how poor we are. But you get people who don't understand how poor we are, but they understand how for cost money cost for political party, how for burn us for political party, but how really for hold them politicians accountable. But let them bring a change. You march go down at parliament. Now you own brothers and they stole you, not the politician. They're going to sit down and watch these people where they fed for, where they wash in poverty. They stone you. They harass your life. Politicians don't go on social media begin to cost me, man. But they give 5,000 to people, 10,000 to people. And they sure say, go cost her, go embarrass her, make, let's say, credibility not there anymore.
Right. Well, we've reached that point, we don't begin to get the signal, Mr. Fatoma. Thank you so much. Give you last word to the people that way they watch and let we close for today. Thank you. We appreciate you today very much.
Yeah, let we continue for love Sierra Leone and do the right thing for let all Sierra Leone benefit from it, not only with friends, not only we regional, we schoolmates, but the people of Sierra Leone. Like when we represent people, we don't look at them where they are from, what political party they belong to. The fact that they are Sierra Leonean, that has been our passion. And successfully, we were able to get any kind of a record then at this country. I mean, these are just employment case 600. We deal with housing related issues. We deal with several issues pertaining human rights issues. We challenge a German embassy where one Fullerman died. He been a work for German embassy. So if for them, then go to Ghana. So then go amputate in foot. So when he return back, then the German embassy say, we no go continue for let you work for we again. So we terminate you and give you benefit. So because of them, we say then a diplomatic mission at this country, then go get away with that. We dive into the German law, the German employment law, where them buying over. Then we take the matter up with them. So then one go to Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Then we ask Foreign Affairs to stay out of this to ensure say the German embassy comply. So we did on fighting that case, that Fullerman died. Then a family member said, the German embassy say no, they don't want forgive. We get for quite every penny we entitled to Rama, they be get forgive family. So we deal with different tribes. I'm a Shabro. but we deal with all cutting or cultural issues. I dive into every community in Cambia district, in Bombali district, in Karine district. Like recently, I've been able Kailang and Kenema Kailang. Looking at human rights situation. Bine constituency 110 Western area. So if we as a Sierra Leonean, we just choose for love we self, because some people, why they hate me is because they don't love themselves. So I don't get a problem with that. If you don't love yourself, you're not going to love me. It's because I love myself. That's why I love people. So that's my last word. Love yourself.
All right. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Thank you to callers them and the chat group. It's been civil, engaging. It's a good program, and I believe still we come out. We don't learn a lot about Mr. Abdul Fatoma, about the working organization they do, and about the challenges. Because, it's easy for we say, oh, they do this, they do that, they do this. But when the Susdena, you put it different. However, the people of Sierra Leone, they still get hope on few civil society organizations like that of Mr. Fatoma. And we pray that you get the empowerment for let you not fail the people of Sierra Leone, for stand up for them and continue for advocate for them and make noise for them as much as you might not be able to do everything, but then get hope for that. So the people of Sierra Leone watching, this is the lesson. I see the last question where this person asked, and Mr. Go ask that question. So with all what you highlight today, the abject poverty, the human rights abuses and all of that, where are we? Where is the international community getting all this information for Sierra Leone is living a better life? Everything is all good, human rights record, everything is fine. So that is the question for all of us, for think, because Mr. Fatoma say, think. Sometimes you don't need somebody not get for can't tell you, but you say think, let you analyze and know whether waiting you they jump for the right thing or not to the right thing. Whether that politician will go give 5,000 for can't cost another person, attack another person, whether it's the right thing to do. So I say thank you to all on behalf of the CDHRI media team. Tomorrow we'll go there to Nanayasu on a special program. And tomorrow is our Blow Mind session program, because now we don't see people are so oppressed or suppressed that they're unable to talk. So we go open the phone line. We can talk about, generally, tell me how you feel about Sierra Leone. Are you happy with the Sierra Leone you have? What is your hope for Sierra Leone moving forward? So we can Blow Mind tomorrow. It will be an open phone line. Hopefully we'll get a special guest for now, but we don't know it. But tomorrow in our Blow Mind session, we will talk about everything Sierra Leone. So ready and bear with me. If we not pick your call that moment, we will call you back once the line is free. Until tomorrow, Jumaba, on behalf of the team, they say tata.
Yes, this not time for all Salon people and then party them. CDHRI Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like Salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour and the Gladi program, Look Me, I Look You. All this they start soon na www.CDHRImedia.org. Now who's tem these? Yes, this not time for all Salon people and then party them. Sierra Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour and the Gladi program, look me, I look you. All this they start soon na www.sierragmedia.org. Now who's tem these? Yes, this not time for all salon people and then party them. Sierra Media will be bringing you a variety of programs ranging from documentaries to discussions, interviews, news, views, sports, and entertainment. Our programs will contain matters on development, governance, the economy, and issues that are of importance to Sierra Leone. So, no left BNO because we get Bebe program then like salon discussion, meets the ministers, the president's hour and the Gladi program, look me, I look you. All this they start soon na www.sierragmedia.org. Now who's tem these?
And I can feel it in my soul, it's too much. When the love you give to me is too much. And I can feel it all on me right now. Say I can feel it all on me right now. Hey. It's too much, girl. So I can't control it, so I can't deny it. You make me the feel you say. And I be no more than love you. You make me the feel say love me not too much to watch you. Me now you African king, and you bound for me. Me African queen, girl I don't make you me wish. And if I hurt and so girl I'm supposed to be. Girl I'm your destiny, and I don't feel I'm rain on me so. My heart you love them still. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My heart you love them still. Baby it's too much. And the love you give to me is too much. And I can feel it in my soul, it's too much. And the love you give to me is too much. And I can feel it all on me right now. Say I can feel it all on me right now. Hey. The way I can only, you love me no more. It dey make her feel happy, I sit down dey think. You smiling no more, it dey make her recover here. Now this girl love way and why they want, I dey feel inside me. Now this girl love way I don't dey look for it, don't dey find me. If I want eat, you go cook for me. If I want learn, you go cook for me. If I want vex, you go. Why you dey love me so? Hey, I don't need feel. Say I don't need a shit, it's an accent. But now I don't get what you loving. Oh, no, no, baby. You love it too much for me. Too much for me. Too much. I don't feel. I say, I recover here. Now this girl love boy, and when I want, I dey feel inside me. Now this girl love boy, I don't look for it, don't define me. Girl, I'm your destiny, and I dey feel I'm right now, me so. My heart, you love, don't stay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. My heart, you love, don't stay, baby. That's why I say it's too much. And the love you give to me is too much. And I can feel it in my soul, it's too much. And the love you give to me is too much. And I can feel it all on me right now. Say I can feel it all on me right now. It's too much. And the love you give to me is too much. And I can feel it in my soul, it's too much. And the love you give to me is too much. And I can feel it all on me right now. Say I can feel it all on me right now.
A lady called Mary Makeba. It was written by a man from Kenya called Fadili Williams. Probably one of the two most popular songs out of Africa. It's called Malaika.
Nashimwa